What's good, Reflections? How y'all feeling, man? We live. I'm gonna give it a little minute. We're gonna get straight. I wanna hop right into this. You know what I'm saying? The subject I'm doing right here. Um, you hear the rain in the background. It's raining. But yeah. I'm I don't know if I can share this link. Is this the link right here? You share it. Y'all sharing the link? Y'all sharing the YouTube link, right?
Yeah, I'm sharing the YouTube.
Okay, just share the YouTube link. All right, y'all come on in the room, man. You know I'm doing this live. I got a lot to teach y'all, man. Um, but before I start teaching this lesson, I wanted to explain to you guys why I call myself master teacher. By that, a lot of people like, oh, master teachers don't call themselves master teachers, and you know, um, most people are, pushing themselves. Most master teachers don't even want to be called master teacher. I'm doing this because political reasons. Now, when I say political reasons, I mean, right? I am a black male in society. And so I call myself master teacher for a number of reasons. My number one reason to call myself master teacher personally is because I'm teaching. I'm mastering what I'm teaching, and I mastered what I'm teaching. As when I started calling myself master teacher, once I mastered what I'm teaching, I know what I mastered. I understand it completely, so I could articulate in a way that you can understand it. I could take a complicated thing that what takes a lot of study, and I can break it down into words, into simplest ways. And also, what makes me the master teacher is that I'm a master of myself. I'm constantly mastering myself, period. So it's something that I aspired to be, and it's something that I've become. And some people will call themselves a millionaire, a billionaire, way before they're a millionaire or a billionaire. Some people will call themselves a lot of things. The political reason I wanted to call myself master teacher is because society has never depicted a black man to be a master teacher. The society I grew up in has never depicted a black male to be a master teacher. Anything from anyone else, because I see myself as a master teacher. That's why I address myself and have others address me as so, because this is what I aspire to be. Okay. Now, people don't have to call me or respect me by my title, but that just shows how they feel about themselves. You see what I'm saying? I'm also the master teacher because I take a lot of teachings and put them together to give you the all around picture of what's going on here in our lives. Leave it up to other people. They will depict me to be a cult leader. That would be more fitting for me. A cult leader or someone that is a pedophile. That's more fitting for me. But if I call myself master teacher or God or anything of high standards, no, that can't, the black man can't be that. No, you can't. You're not allowed to call yourself that. We depicted you as a nigga, a thug, an athlete, an entertainer. You don't teach us. We teach you. We educate you. You never educated us. We educate you. So to depict me as, and I'm not talking about white society or or Caucasian, what you call Caucasian people. All people hate themselves. So when I call myself master teacher, being as young as I am, being a black man, people already say he ain't no elder. First of all, I'm not an older person. So they're not used to hearing the kind of knowledge that I can give without it being somebody older or something like that. But age has nothing to do with, especially in this age of information. So this is something that people have to get used to. I aspire to be someone that masters myself, that knows how to control myself. I aspire to be a master guru, a teacher. I know that that's what I am in myself because I've read about myself and I know who I am. People are uncomfortable. Seeing BBC just did a recent documentary about me, and they depicted me to be a cult leader. They labeled me a title. They labeled me a title. I have my own media. I didn't need BBC to depict me to the world. I could depict me to the world for myself. And I depict myself as a master teacher. That's who I am. I am who I say I am. So therefore, I am that I am. And I'm telling you that I'm the master teacher. I'm the master of what I teach, and I'm the master of myself. Share the video, Reflection. We're going to go deep in this video. This video, I'm going to break down again how we are a cell made up of many other cells. We are a neuron cell made up of many other cells, right? That is living in a hologram of our own being. And I'm going to break this down today. So I have something I click down on this, click down on this. Tech guy right here.
Got a mode open up that window that lets you
right here
on the this.
Oh, okay, I'm talking about where the file at. That file is behind this?
It's yeah, it's behind everything. On the desktop.
Okay, it's on the desktop, so I can just
minimize everything.
Minimize this. Okay. Cool. So okay. I'll just share my background. All right. So today, I don't know if you can hear all this rain. Hold on real quick. Today I'm going to be breaking down to you some divine downloads that I want to share. I put out a lot of information in the time that I've been, the time that I basically putting out information. And a lot of people only know me from all of the negative drama that you hear out there. But, this also gives me an opportunity to regurgitate some things that I've already been putting out. Teaching you how the body is a hologram. And that you are living inside of your own body. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to be first. I got some pictures for you guys. Be patient with me, guys. Oh, I got to do all of that. Got to do all of that. Okay. Okay. We're going to start with this picture right here. This is the physical body. This is what you are. It's very important to understand this. Important to understand this because present to everyone. Okay. Okay. This is who you are. This is what we are. It's very important that we understand this. This is the reality check right here. This is what's real. Gosh. When you really look at us, the body is as a message center for electrical signals. Picture is amazing. Is that if you look at yourself as this brings you into reality as far as what we truly are. You see yourself as, if you could see everybody else as a brain, and then you could see them as this nervous system. I want us to meditate on this picture real quick because this picture is so divine. Because we do not look at ourselves like this. But this is the root of what we're we're dealing with here. Let's be real. Like, we're looking at each other and we're not seeing what truly is what you are. Let's know thyself. This is the root of your existence, to figure out who are you, why are you here, and what is this. So let's look at this picture real quick, right? And say, man, we're all brains. Though the heart is the center of the nervous system. There's none of this without the heart. All of this is stemmed from the heart. The brain is stemmed from the heart. The nervous system is stemmed from the heart. There's no heart here, which is the nucleus of our cell. We are neuron cells, literally. You're walking around and your bone structure is just supporting this. Your skin is holding it together. Your muscles are holding it together. But this is what we are. And it's so imperative to understand this and just look at this real quick. Okay? It's very important that you understand this before I go into this download. The body is a message center for electrical signals. Not only does it, but it receives signals into the hologram that it's receiving into. So the body is very interesting. Okay? It's very interesting. I thought I'd show that before I start this download. Now I gotta bring this other file back up. Where's the file at? It's on the desktop. Oh, Hologram Live?
Yeah, it's behind there. I'll move that window out the way.
Oh, so it's right here. Okay. Here we go, guys. We about to go deep. You know how I do. Boom. Where do we start? First, we're going to start with for you to understand this whole download, I'm gonna have to walk you through this video right here, okay? Now, because here we go. I'm gonna walk you through this video.
Everything experienced is temporary and deceptive, and this universe is a shadow. Seems to be proven by science in our day. In order to better grasp this secret behind matter, let us be reminded of our information about our sense of sight, which provides us with the most extensive information about the external world. The act of seeing is realized progressively. At the instance of seeing, light pulsars called photons.
Okay, you got to understand that this is breaking down your reality. We're going to pull the curtain off your reality right now. This is the holographic universe. And I want to walk you through this video to unravel the reality that you're sitting in, that you are in. Like, I want you to understand the concepts of what I'm saying. And this video really, truly helps me bring what I'm trying to say into that you can understand exactly what reality is. We are not conscious beings. We are not living as conscious beings. We are in a sleep in the information and the programming that we've been put under since we were born. This is the information age where you are here to find yourself and know thyself. So we have to reprogram our minds to see what's really going on with reality. So in this video, what we're going to do here is I'm going to help you understand how life really works, how you see how life works. This is not something we were taught in school. This is not something that you will understand unless you're ready. You have to be ready and willing to be open and to actually see what's really going on in your reality. Once you really know what's really going on in your reality, life becomes very amazing. It becomes magical. You understand? So I'm going to start this video right here. and in hopes that everyone start to grasp what's really going on here.
To the eye and pass through the eye lens, where they are refracted and focus on the retina at the back of the eye.
So how do we see? You know, how do you see? When I was younger, I always thought about it, right? I was like, yo, how is my brain telling my eyes what it sees when my brain is encased in darkness? That's something as a child. Like when I was growing up, I always had that question in my mind, like, yo, my brain, how can my brain encased in darkness, right, tell my eyes what they're seeing? My brain never been outside my body. So how can my brain be telling me what I'm seeing outside my body? That's like you sitting in a house, right? And you got 5 friends. All of your senses are your friends, right? Eyes, touch, sound, taste, hearing. All of these are your friends, right? And they go outside and you don't go outside. You stay in the house. Information, then bring it back to you, and you tell your eyes, your ears, your nose, everything what it's smelling. And I'm like, yo, how could that happen? So I've always had that question as a youngster. Like, my brain is telling me, once I realized that your brain is actually the computer and the processor of all that you see, smell, hear, taste, and feel, then you have to look at these things and see, how does this work? Nobody's asking these questions. This is occult information. This is the hidden information within the information age. This is the stuff that's hidden from you. This is not talked about in the broad arenas of social media. This is not something that's going to be talked about. This is the occult information. It's up to the surface. Like, look, y'all need to ask these questions to figure out your reality. Seriously, your brain is in your head, right? It's in darkness, but your brain is telling you everything that you are smelling, tasting. How does your brain know? Your brain must have been programmed. What you're seeing must be a program. Be a program, because you cannot see outside your body. Program the brain to see what you see, smell what you smell, what you hear. And this video goes into answering those questions, because this breaks down the fabric of your reality, how reality, without understanding these questions right here. This video is everything, because once you understand how your sight works and all of your senses work, because once you understand, like, okay, I'm a walking, breathing nervous system. I'm a cell, and I'm a nerve cell, because and through my nerves, I receive my reality. So therefore, I'm a neuron cell. I'm a nerve cell. And once you look at yourself for what you truly are, can you ever really, truly start to understand what life really is? The people that are walking around and sleeping, because we was all asleep at once, right? We're all unconscious about this level of consciousness. Okay, we're all conscious beings, but we're unconscious about what's really going on. And we're waking up in layers of consciousness. So in this video right here, we're going to be showing you, I'm going to walk you through this video, baby step you, so that you can try to understand this mind-blowing video, because this right here gives you knowledge of self. Right? Know thyself. You have to know yourself on all levels. This right here allows you to know you. So light photons, yeah,
Are turned into electrical signals and then transmitted by neurons to the center of vision at the back of the brain. The act of seeing actually takes place in this center in the brain.
This is where the act of your seeing works from your brain. They know this because they've cut off nerves. Scientists, doctors, down your whole body, and they know people that cannot see. They got people, when you go to see the eyeglass doctor, they already studied the eye, they studied the brain and how it works. If you take this nerve and cut this cord and put this cord together, this AIDS, where the people, you got videos of babies that can hear for the first time, and people that get their sight for the first time, and all this stuff. And we already know this through objective facts, that the act of seeing is in the back of your brain, this little area in the brain. This is where all your seeing travels from, right here, this part of your brain. Meaning, if you cut these nerves that travel to this part of your brain, you will not have any sight. You will not be able to see. This is a fact, okay? So listen in.
All the images we view in our lives and all the events we experience are actually experienced in this tiny and dark place.
Okay. Let me rewind that, because I want to make sure that you grasp it. I want to give it to you very slowly. Everything that you see, everybody you see, is given to you from this part of your brain. Take a minute and digest that. Reflections. Brain, all of your reality, or your mom, your dad, your family. We don't ask how we got here. You have to ask these main three questions. How did I get here? Who am I? And what is this? You got to ask these three fundamental questions to actually become a master of your reality and become truly conscious and become gods again. We have to ask these three questions. Who am I? And what is this? Okay? And this is where we start to live in our divine truth. Okay? Let's go there.
All the images we view in our lives and all the events we experience are actually experienced in this tiny and dark place. Both the film you are now watching and the boundless landscape you see when you gaze at the horizon actually fit into this place of a few cubic centimeters. Now, consider this information more carefully. When we say we see, we actually see the effect the rays reaching our eyes form in our brain.
When we say that we see something, like you're looking at this video right now, I want you to take a moment and realize you're only receiving electrical signals. Remember the brain and the nerves? You are a neuron. You're not, nothing is real outside of you. Nothing is real outside of us. We are only receiving electrical signals that our brain, the brain is telling you what you're seeing. But you're only really receiving electrical signals. Let's keep going.
By being converted into electric signals. When we say we see, we actually observe the electrical signals in our brain. By the way, there is another point that has to be kept in mind.
Remember that point I told you about that I always thought about as a kid? Like, yo, how the hell, can you open these up there again? Like, how the hell are we? It's about to get warm in here. I can feel it. I can feel it about to get warm in here. How the hell could we see when it's in darkness? It's not even outside my body. But how can my brain tell my eyes and my ears what it's hearing? How am I hearing this? How am I seeing this? How like my brain, like this is crazy. That's mind blowing right there. My brain is telling me what I'm seeing. Take a minute though. Step back and think about that for a minute. Your brain is encased in darkness. Here it goes.
The brain is sealed to light, and its interior is absolutely dark. It is never possible for the brain to contact with light itself.
And we know everything is light. You know what I'm saying? The brain is in darkness. So how the brain being inside my head, I'm seeing? How is it going to tell me what I'm hearing, what I'm tasting, what I'm feeling? My brain is telling me that. My brain is telling me that I'm talking on this microphone right now. My brain is giving me the illusion that I'm standing in front of this camera. Camera is giving me the illusion of this chair that I'm sitting in. It's even giving me the illusion of my body. We're going to get into that in a minute.
We can explain this interesting situation with an example. That in front of us there is a burning candle, and we view its light. During this period, when we view the candle's light, the inside of our skull and our brain, darkness.
You looking at light. The world is lit up, right? The world is lit up. Like you see the sun. The sun is lit, but it don't light inside of your brain up. Your brain is still in darkness. To light up your brain can see shit. Your brain is encased in darkness. It's gift. Isn't that amazing? The matter, and until you start to realize yourself from this objective perspective, then you're just living a lie in your sleep, and you're not really awake. Start to understand these basic understandings of life. This is how your brain works. This is how life works. And until you understand that this is a program, will you ever understand real reality? You're just going to be living out of the thoughts of a program of something else.
The light of the candle illuminates our brain and our center of vision. However, we watch a colorful and bright world inside our dark brain. The same situation applies to all our other senses. Sound, touch, taste, and smell are all perceived in the brain as electrical signals. Therefore, our brains throughout our lives do not confront the original of the matter existing outside us, but rather an electrical copy of it formed inside our brain. It is at this point that we are misled by assuming these copies are instances of real matter outside us.
Real outside of you. Do you hear me? Nothing is real outside of you. I gotta say that. Nothing is real outside of you. Tell them to. It's real outside of you. It is not objective or factual for you to even think that anything is actually real outside of you. You have to step back and realize all is a hologram. All is a holographic universe. Everything in front of you is a reflection. You can't all that you are. I'm going to show you this. This is why we call each other reflection here. The external world inside our brain, right? We see is inside of our brain. Our brain is telling us what we hear, is giving you your mother, your father, your family situations, making you think that you're driving in a car to go to work, is making you think that you're looking at you're holding this phone right now and looking and listening to me, awakening yourself by me. I'm not real. I'm inside of you. Watch this.
These physical facts make us come to an indisputable conclusion. Everything we see, touch, hear, and perceive is matter. The world, or the universe, is only electrical signals in our brain. For instance, we see a bird in the external world. In reality, this bird is not in the external world, but in our brain. Light particles.
There's no such thing as anything external of you. Nothing is external. You have nothing outside of you. This is the very essence of the truth. There's nothing outside of you. Your mind, your brain is giving you the notion that everything exists outside of you. This is unrefutable. This is not anything we can argue about. There's nothing to argue about here. This is facts. We have brains. people have taken the brain out of people's head and seen the brain and studied every nerve, every article, every artery, every the traveling distance between the finger and the brain, the nerves and the fingers. Man has studied all of this stuff now. Here we are in the information age where it's at our access. Okay, pay attention.
Reflecting from the bird reach our eyes, and there they are converted into electrical signals. These signals are transmitted by neurons to the center of vision.
By neurons to the center of vision, which is the hypothalamus, which is the pituitary gland, which is the whole diencephalon. This whole middle section in your head is called the diencephalon. All this information is out here. And when you start to really study knowledge of self, you ain't got no time but to really go deep and dive in deep about to who you really are. Like, what you really are. Here's your eyeball, right? You're a brain with a nervous system encased in bone. We're looking at each other and don't even know how to look at each other correctly. You don't even know how to look at your reality and see what it truly is. I want to open your eyes to what your reality truly is. I want you to see life for what it truly is. I want to open your mind to what truly life is, period. Now, you see this through electrical signals, right?
In the brain. The bird we see is, in fact, the electric signals in our brain. If the sight nerves traveling to the brain were disconnected, the image of the bird would suddenly disappear.
You see those sight nerves? That sight nerve right here, if that was disconnected, you would not be able to see anything external. Your eyes would shut down. It's a wire that's coming through here that connects this body, this being, this neuron cells. Once this axon right here is connected to the electrical signals that are being received and the information from the external world that's being received through the eyes, and the brain encased in darkness, never been outside the head, is telling you what these electrical signals is, which means if your brain is programmed to see whatever it wants you to see out here, that's exactly the electrical signals that you're going to receive, because your brain was programmed to see the external world. Once you receive these electrical signals, the brain interprets and tells you exactly what's going on. It tells you exactly what's going on. The brain interprets what's going on, and we'll go further into that in the video. This is mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing. Which this means is that everything in your external world, your girlfriend, your job, the bank, the Illuminati, all of that is a program running in your brain. This is proven with facts. This is not pseudoscience or heebie-jeebie. This is facts.
In the same manner, the bird sounds we hear are also in our brain.
The bird sounds that you hear, everything that you're hearing, my voice right now, is electrical signals being sent through your ear to your brain, which is interpreting what I'm saying. But I'm inside your brain. Everything that you see external is internal. It's in your brain.
If the nerve traveling from the ear to the brain was disconnected, there would be no sound left.
There would be no sound. You could not hear anything in no external world without the electrical signals being sent. But the electrical signals that are being sent are an illusion of your brain. It's a program that your brain is being ran off.
The bird, the shape of which we see and the sound of which we hear, is nothing but the brain's interpretation of electrical signals. Another point to be considered here is the sense of distance. For example, the distance between you and this screen is nothing but a feeling of space formed in your brain. Also, objects that seem to be very distant in one person's view are actually images clustered at one spot in the brain.
Okay, that right there, looking at the world for what it is. Distance is an illusion of the mind. Okay, distance is not real. You think that distance is real, but everything is within your mind.
For instance, someone who watches the stars in the sky assumes that they are millions of light years away from him. Yet the stars are right inside himself and the center of vision of his brain.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying now? When you look out into the world, all you're seeing is a reflection of the darkness. Light is the reflection, and I'm going to go into what the darkness is. I already told you what the darkness is. If you've been rocking with me, you know what the darkness is. Then you know what gives you light. Right? So we're gonna break it down and then bring it all together to show you how all of this actually works. But distance is in your mind. Nothing external to you is external to you. You think that you're in Chicago and someone else is in New York, but that's just an illusion of the mind. They're not real, as well as your body is not real. I'm gonna go into that now. Your body is also an illusion inside your brain. Watch this. Some people say, oh, I live in my body. I live in my body. I'm a spirit that lives in my body. Here's where I'm going to debunk that scientifically with facts. It's no way that you're a spirit that lives inside your body. That makes no scientific sense.
While you watch this film, you are in truth not inside the room you assume yourself to be in. On the contrary, the room is inside you.
The room is inside you. Everything is the inside. Everything that you see, the earth and everything that you see is literally inside your mind. You are living inside your own mind. And everything you see in the light is a reflection of different parts of yourself. It's a reflection of the darkness. The light is the darkness, just a reflection of everything that's going on in the darkness. The darkness is the primordial essence of everything. Any and everything that ever could be thought of comes from that darkness. But those thoughts need to come into movement. When those thoughts come into movement, light is used by darkness to reflect itself to itself. Whew. Oh my God. This is it. You want knowledge of self? You want to know what's really going on? This is it right here. And nobody, if they're not talking about this, we're not talking about shh. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about shh. You feel me? This is it, man. This is once you understand the format, the structure, the frame of reality, now you could become God, what you truly are, the I am, because you realize that all is you, everything is you, and that you're only tapping into different parts of yourself within yourself. Everything is you, and you can tap into your lower self. These are beings that don't know. This is a part of you that doesn't understand. When you look at other people, like, let me give you myself an example. Mad people did videos about my life and what they perceive my life to be from their perspective. I was not upset with them because I had this knowledge. I knew that they are parts of me. They live in my head. I live in your head. And we're all receiving signals from different perspectives of the same thing. So they perceive me through their perception. And so I can't be mad at them because they don't know. This is why when Jesus was getting beat, he said, forgive them for they know not what they're doing. They don't know. They don't understand. These are my reflections. My reflections still don't have the consciousness to know that I am them and they are me. Do unto others as you have them to do unto yourself is a golden rule because they are you. How you treat other people is how you feel about yourself, because it's a direct reflection of who you are. If someone does something nasty to you, what you do back says everything about you. You can't be like, oh, I did that because you did this. No, you did that because you just as fucked up as that person is. If you was a divine being, nothing can make you be fucked up. You wouldn't know how to be fucked up. If you was a divine being, you could only respond through your perception. Meaning, if you're vibrating at a high frequency, how can you respond the way they reacted? They acted, and then you reacted the way they reacted. You gave them back what they gave you because you are them. But if you are someone that is a divine being, then you can only respond in divinity. Did I stutter? So you see what I'm saying? Now you get to see what's really going on in life, and first you have to be able and programmed. We're gonna go into the genes, we're gonna go into DNA, we're gonna show you how everything works in life, so that you can understand and see life from the clear perspective and know why I'm master teacher, why I call myself master teacher. Because I can break it down with all of the other teachers' information. I bring all of the information together and all of it collectively together to give it to you straight as a full image and a full picture of what's really going on in our reality. Mind-blowing information. The room that you're sitting in right now is inside your mind. I want you to look around right now. I want you to take a moment and meditate on that, because we're moving so fast in consciousness that sometimes we get some divine information and go and get it and then fall right back to sleep. But to really grasp this information that I'm telling you and start to live through it, is to become divine being, to become supreme being. I'm giving you supreme mathematics right here. This is reality. Don't let nobody else tell you anything else. This is it right here. We ain't talking about holographic universe as the frame of what we talking about. Then we ain't talking about nothing. This is beyond nature. Nature is a beautiful thing because nature is you as well. It's a part of you. I didn't get into I'm not going to, in this video, I'm not going to yet get into the parts of you that you can connect to get to different parts of you. Different parts of your mind. Your mind has different parts of itself, different dimensions of itself. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I want to give you the basic information to show you that the earth and everything you see is a hologram of your own body. Now, someone said that I'm a spirit and I live inside my body. Now, on one hand, that's true, because your body is a spirit and you are living inside of your body as far as the earth being inside of your body. But they're not saying it in that context. They're saying that I'm a spirit and I live in this body, your body, like your physical body, that you live inside your body, but you're not the body. Is that right? Here's scientific evidence to show that that's not real. But before we do that, I want you to take a moment and realize that the room that you're in right now, the phone that you're holding right now, your body, you looking at your hand, that's all inside your brain. It's all inside your mind. Your brain is encased in darkness, is giving you the electrical signals that this streaming, perfectly streaming HD ass reality that you are living in is a hologram. Holographic. And what a hologram is mean that you're being projected from somewhere else. That everything that you see is a projection, like a movie, a virtual world, so to speak. And that you are being tested. And I'll go into that later. So someone said that we not the body. Is that right? Okay.
Your seeing your body makes you think that you are inside of it. However, you must remember that your body, too, is an image formed inside your brain.
Boom! Let me rewind it for you real quick. Because this right here, nigga, this shit right here, nigga, this information right here, nigga, this is where it's at, homie. This information right here kills all that noise. You can't say that you're a spirit in your body no more, dog. You can't say that no more now. You can't scientifically say that. Here I'm proving to you that your body is an illusion that your mind and your brain is giving you. Here it is.
Film, you are truth, not inside the room you assume yourself to be in. While you watch this film, you are in truth, not inside the room you assume yourself to be in. On the contrary, the room is inside you. Your seeing your body makes you think that you are inside of it. Just remember that your body, too, is an image formed inside your brain.
So you're not inside the room. The room's inside of you. You're not inside your body. Your body's inside of you. Your mind is giving you a body. Your mind is giving you the illusion that you have this reality. Your mind is even giving you the illusion that you have a body. Ain't nothing exists outside of you. You are the mind. You are the observer. Look at your hands right now. I know you're holding the phone. Look at your hand. That's an illusion inside of your brain. Listen to my voice right now. Become aware and become conscious of the voice that's speaking to you right now, and realize this voice is inside your head. You are the only person in existence. Nothing else exists outside of you. You are the observer. You are the only one in existence. Everything else is a reflection or refraction of yourself to yourself, split up into many, many different elements and many, many different forms of you. You are the tree. You are the bee. You are the person that's next to you. You are everything vibrating at a different frequency of yourself. What you tap into says everything about who you are. If you are a truth speaker, then you are the truth. If you are a truth seeker, you are the truth. If you are the one that finds the divine truth, then you are the truth. Because you vibrate to what you truly are. You've been programmed genetically to find the truth and to be the truth, because you are the truth. And that's all you want to hear. That's how you found Nature Boy, because you are the truth. Me and you are from the same soul family. We gonna find the truth. Nobody can hide it from us. We understand this reality and we wish to live by that truth and not just talk about it. And so many people are going to listen to this video, and as soon as this video goes off, going to go right back to sleep. Even though they heard the most amazing shit they ever heard in their life, their minds can't even digest it. They can hear it, they can receive it, but they lose it right away. They can't keep it. They can't live in it. Because the way they're programmed, I'm going to show you how you're astrologically programmed to be limited in certain ways. I bring this all back to the Bible. Let's get it. You are not your body. Reflections. Say, I am not my body.
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 Psych. You are your body. Why would you say that? Why would y'all say that? See? Sleep, nigga. Don't just follow me, nigga. If I'm wrong, say I'm wrong, nigga. As soon as I said I'm not my body, I am not my body. Y'all niggas, listen. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck. Whoever's wrong, they wrong, bro. Don't agree with just shit that people say to you. Never just agree with. See? You see how I was able, just because I'm somebody teaching you the truth, that I was able to trick you that easily? Yo, that's how the devil move right there. Don't trust nobody. Question everything and make sure that's all based up in facts. While that was a mistake, and I heard my own self say the mistake, and y'all repeated me, don't fucking follow just anything, bro. Fuck that. Question everything and find out the truth about it. And when you question it, question to understand with an open heart and open mind. Yeah, somebody may trick you for a minute, but after you question it, always question with objectivity. I am the body. You are the body. The body's in your mind. You are me. I am you. You are the body. When someone tells you you're not the body, that's a trick to make you disconnected from what you truly are. First of all, how are you going to be connected to the earth if you think that you're not the body? that creates a disconnect from your body because your body is an illusion. And that body is giving you the illusion of another illusion of itself, which is the earth. So if you are disconnected from your body, then you're disconnected from the earth and you're disconnected from the sun and all of the cosmic entities of yourself. You must connect back to the body. Once you connect back to the body, you connect back to the earth, you can connect back to the sun, you can connect back to all other planets, all other a whole universe. Then you connect back to who you are. You must connect back to the body first. You must understand the body is everything. The body is everything. You are the body. And you are living in a holographic version of your body. The body is in your mind. The world that you live in is in your mind. Right here, it shows you this clearly. I am the body.
I am the body.
I am the body.
I am the body.
You sure? Are you sure? I am everything that I observe. Say it. I am everything that I observe.
I am everything that I observe.
I am not separate of anything that I observe because what I observe is me. It is a part of me, whether I do not like it or not. It is a reflection of me. Everything is me. My job here is to connect to what I truly am and disconnect from what I truly am not. I will not give my energy to what I am not. The destruction on this planet, which is myself, I will not give my energy to that. All right, moving forward.
So far, we have been speaking repeatedly of an external world and a world of perceptions formed in our brain, the latter of which is what we see. However, since we can never actually reach the external world, how can we be sure that such a world really exists?
It doesn't exist. It's all an illusion. It's a dream. Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. It is an illusion of the mind, buddy. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how even your brain is an illusion of your body. You don't even got a brain. You just a mind. You are just a soul, a spirit, whatever you want to call it. You are God. You are it. You are the observer. And everything that you observe is a refraction of what you are. It's your mind, your brain. Not your brain, but your mind. You're not even a brain because that's an illusion. You are the primordial darkness. You are God. But you are a piece of God through the illusion of yourself. Woo. Write that down. You are a piece of God through the illusion of yourself. You are a piece of God through the illusion of yourself. Because through the illusion of yourself gives you the ego. The ego makes you think you are you and separate from everything else you are. Now, if you're a good ego, you will exist separately, but also exist in tune with everything else and know that I am a piece of all of this. That's a good ego. A bad ego thinks that I'm me, you ain't no reflection of me. That's a bad ego. A bad ego knocks down trees, hurts people, lies, steals. These are all bad egos. We must become good ego. That's when we here in carbonation, when we see something non-cipher, we say, nah, that's a bad ego. That's a bad way of thinking. That's a bad character. That's not based in mathematics. That's non-cipher. That's non-cipher. That's not based in mathematics and objective mathematics. That ain't good mathematics. That's not conscious. That's not supreme conscious. That's consciousness, but that's not supreme consciousness. That's GMO. That's non-cipher. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad ego right there. That's a bad sense of self. That person don't know who they are. So they have a bad sense of self. That's a bad ego. We never say kill the ego. No. We say upgrade the ego. Upgrade your ego. Upgrade your ego. Upgrade your ego, make your ego divine, have a divine ego, have supreme being ego, have supreme being ego. But what they're doing is they using these words to keep you trapped from finding true knowledge of self. See, once you hear the word ego, because you become scared and go running away from the ego, and you always stay detached from what you truly are, because you can't even use the word ego, and you have to go through the word ego to actually understand knowledge of self, because that's how it's set up, through the word ego. So if they take the word ego from you, put a bad rap on it, you'll go around the word ego, but you'll never have a word. If you don't have a word for something, then you don't know what it is, and you can't go through it. We need words. Through thoughts we travel. So we can't go through without understanding and breaking down these words. So you got somebody that hops on a bandwagon of somebody that says, yeah, ego, this, ego, that, ego is bad. We got to kill the ego. That don't understand the ego at all. Once you understand it, you ain't got to fear it. You know it. You know what the ego is a sense of self. It's what makes you think that you're separate from the all. But what if your ego is one of the egos that allow you to understand that you are one with them all? A lot of us have egos or personalities, characters that allow us to actually understand that we are the all. That's an ego. You always have to have an ego. Even to say I am is an ego. That's coming from an ego, the I. The I is the all. Well, if you say I am all. I am. That is the highest ego that you can have. The greatest ego that we can have is the ego of the I am. So when someone says kill the ego, then you know this is non-cipher. This is genetically modified information that we don't play that. We're going to go the other way. This person don't know what the hell they're talking about. This reflection of myself is confused. And all I can do is hope and pray that one day that this person may be enlightened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distance myself, which distance is an illusion of the mind, right? So we stop talking and communicating, which creates the distance, and we go our separate way, and we just share our information online. Hopefully those that are ready for it, when they vibrate to the frequency of it, they will come close and come near to the truth. But we ain't got no time for naysayers. We ain't got no time for people that don't know what the hell they talking about. In the end, they're going to get the result of their knowledge. We don't have that time. We base our information, all of our information, and all of our knowledge, and all of our downloads in objective facts. Objective facts cannot be denied. They're unrefutable. We're not here to debate the truth. We're only here to tell the truth, live the truth, and be the truth. We're here to fulfill the laws, fulfill God's laws with the laws of nature, the laws of the universe. We're here to show you the truth, give you the truth. You understand? So nobody can deny anything that we're saying. Anybody deny that we say anything that we saying is based in subjectivity, and that person, that persona, is a bad persona. And we understand that that's a reflection of ourselves that doesn't understand what they truly are. So we forgive them. We do not hate them because we don't know how to respond in hate, because hate is from ignorance. You got to be ignorant to hate. Only time we hate, only thing that we do hate, if we reserve our hate for things that make people hate themselves. We hate misinformation. We hate miscommunication. If we hate, we're going to we despise something. We only despise the things that make you ignorant, the things that make you not understand what reality is and see things from a program that makes you do stupid things to destroy what you truly are. We hate that. If we hate anything, we can never respond to you the way you respond, the way you act to us. Unless it's divine. If you act divine, then we can respond to you. I don't have a lot of people like, well, you block me, because at the end of the day, I'm never going to respond to you, and you're going to be a distraction to the people that I'm teaching. Somebody that's actually ready to receive it. You're not ready to receive it, so you're going to have to find another avenue to find me later. You're going to have to create another profile when your ego die. When that profile die, then you're going to have to create another ego and come deal with it. Come deal with the truth. You feel what I'm saying, guys? Let's get it.
Definitely, we cannot. The only reality we cope with is the world of perceptions we live within our minds. To imagine matter to have an existence outside the mind is indeed a deception.
To imagine that matter has an existence outside the mind is indeed a deception. I'm gonna rewind that. This is not hocus pocus. This is science. To even think that anything is real outside of you is a deception. Listen in.
To imagine matter to have an existence outside the mind is indeed a deception. The perceptions we observe may well be coming from an artificial source. It is possible to see this in the mind's eye by an example. First, let us suppose that we could take our brain out of our body and keep it alive in a glass jar.
All right, this is a very complex part, but I'm going to make it very simple for you. I want to make this video itself is very complex because learning ourselves again for the first time is something that's like, you know, like, whoa, wait a minute. You got to watch this video like 30 times just to start to grasp it. It's the holographic universe. It's the only video that I got as the base video of all that I'm talking about. So when you go to my pages, the first intro video you're going to see is the holographic universe. You're going to have to know this before you join. If you get down with carbonation or you join the Christ conscious, you got to understand this right here. You need to understand it. This is the basis of everything. Once you, my baby boy, my son, my children, any child that's under my government will understand the holographic universe first thing first. Because this programs to understand from a very young age what reality is.
Let us put a computer in which all kinds of information can be recorded. Finally, let us transmit the electrical signals of all the data related to a setting.
Boom, here it is. This is the software. The software would be the mind. That's the data, right? That's the data, right? This is the data. You're going to put this data into an apparatus, which is a computer, which is a transmitter of, that's going to be a transmitter of that data.
Such as image, sound, and smell to this computer. Let us connect this computer.
The body is a computer. And the brain computes. The body is responding. It's the same thing as this computer right here. But we're hooking all of these wires up to this brain.
To the sensory centers in our brain with electrodes and send the pre-recorded data to our brain.
Say if you was only a brain and somebody had us hooked up to brains, right? The brain could receive, this brain could receive all of the codes from that data, right? The data is your heart. The data, the software connects from your heart. The heart is the first organ that develops in the body. There is no brain without a heart. The heart gives you a brain. The brain is an extension of the heart. They don't talk about this, but it's very important. The brain, the heart is 1,000 more times powerful than the heart. Than the brain. What we have to understand is that the first organ to develop in the embryo is the heart. The heart starts the whole nervous system. It develops, the whole nervous system starts from the heart. First thing comes, what was the first thing that comes? The heart. Then the heart comes and pumps blood. Do we have that video? Let's pull the video up right now. Let's pull this to the side. So this way we're not just talking from, what's up, Reflections? This is what we do all day, you know. This is how we get it. We get it how we live, you know? This is how we get it. This is how I want to do it. I'm going to share this video. This is how we get it. This is what we do all day, though. I'm going to share this with y'all. Let's go get him. Go get him, Tiger. Let's open up a YouTube. Right? And then YouTube, let's open up. It's crazy, man. I can't even turn my own YouTube while we're seeing all this crazy shit. This is crazy, but but you know what it is? I want to say something about all these people that be hating on me on my videos, yo. They are my protectors. They are my footstool. I'm so glad for the people that make videos about me and all these people on here. When I see this, I look at y'all as a filter, right? Because who knows what would have been coming to me if y'all didn't do these videos because y'all put out misinformation about me, right? And then people start to form opinions about me, you know, people that don't have knowledge of self or doesn't have a mind to actually do the videos, to actually do the processing, I mean, within their own minds, to say, yo, let me go do some research before I just judge this man. I don't know this man personally. I never met him. They saying this about him. I can't form a judgment. Any divine being is not going to form no judgment about me without processing it through a lens. You know what I'm saying? If you just see 1 or 2 videos, a whole bunch of people talking about me, you join the bandwagon like, yeah, I don't like you because you a pedophile. Okay, now then you the type of person I wouldn't want around me anyway. I am not sad about people that are closed-minded and that would judge me from that alone. If you would judge me from that alone, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be happy that you're not in my life. I only want to deal with people that think like me, and people that think like me cannot be tricked or fooled. They're going to find the truth. They're going to find out what's really going on behind the scenes. They're going to find out the truth. And so if you see something about me and that make you judge me, then you a type of person I don't need in my life. And so God is protecting me. The universe is protecting me with these people that put out false information about me, that don't even know me, never met me, have their own opinions about me, that peak. So anybody that draws to these videos and forms any kind of opinion about me, I'm so glad that you are not able to even come into my life. So these people play as a buffer toward me. We're going to look up the heart, or the first organ to develop in the fetus. Here it is. The heart, our first organ. Three weeks in.
One of the first recognizable organs to form is the heart.
Why is it so low?
Without a heart, there is no way of spreading around the food and oxygen the embryo needs to flourish. Until now, the heart has been a dormant clump of muscle cells.
Okay.
But after 22 days, it bursts suddenly into life, when still just the size of a poppy seed.
Just the side of a poppy seed, baby.
Spontaneously contracts, triggering its neighbors and setting off a chain reaction until all the heart cells are beating.
Did you know that all your heart cells are beating? Did you know that all your cells are beating? Did you know that? Tick tock, tick tock. I'm going to rewind this. I want y'all to hear it. Pay attention. Focus. Remember, focus. Can you focus? Pay attention. Let's get it. Focus. Pay attention. 3 weeks in.
One of the first recognizable organs to form is the heart. Without a heart, there is no way of spreading around the food and oxygen to flourish.
Okay. The heart is the center and the nucleus of you as a cell. From the heart stems the brain, because the heart is able to pump up and extend itself. Everything is an extension of the heart. Everything is an extension of the heart. The heart is the first organ to develop, and the brain is nothing more than an extension of the heart. All other organs are an extension of the heart. Matter of fact, your arms, your bones, everything is an extension of your heart. You are a walking around heart. The heart's electrical magnetic field is everything in 20,000 times more powerful than the brain. So your brain, which we're talking about right here in the holographic universe, is nothing more than an extension of your heart. So that's where the software is. That's where the software, the brain is just computing and processing and works in harmony with the heart. That's why you have to understand where your Venus is at, because your Venus represents where your software is all coming from. The Venus, what house your Venus is in. And then you have your brain. Your brain is what? Your brain is an extension of your heart. Your brain and your heart are working together. Your brain is actually processing what your heart is trying and intent, what your intentions are. What your intentions are. That's what your brain is processing and articulating. This is where art comes in. You see, your whole body is a manifestation machine. It's a nerve cell. Your whole body is a reception. It's not only receiving, but transmitting. Transmitting means to receive and emit. Transmitting electrical signals.
Until now, the heart has been a dormant clump of muscle cells. But after 22 days, it bursts suddenly into life, when still just the size of a poppy seed. One cell spontaneously contracts, triggering its neighbors and setting off a chain reaction until all the heart cells are beating.
Now that's called fractal. All of the heart cells are beating, then the heart beats.
Someone tick-tock has put tick-tock, a key tick-tock, in me tick-tock, and so tick-tock, my life tick-tock has just tick-tock begun tick-tock. How long tick-tock will this tick-tock go on tick-tock, go on tick-tock, go on tick-tock, until later on, when the nervous system is more developed.
The nervous system is more developed from the heart. It develops from the heart. There is no brain without the heart.
The brain will carefully control the rate of contraction, keeping it steadily beating and pumping for the rest of the child's life.
So the brain is an extension of the heart, and your whole body is the heart. That's what you are. You're a walking heart. Aww. Aww, you loving beings. You're just a walking heart. Yes, you are. Where's your Venus at? Virgo? Oh, damn. Never mind. What house is it in? 6th house? Oh, damn. Never mind. You a demon. You ain't gonna understand what's going on. Where your Mercury at? Cancer? Oh, shit. Wait a minute. What house? 4th? Oh, damn. 12th house. What? Mercury in the 12th house. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Running on the wrong program here. Through the astrological energy in your birth chart, it lets you know the software that you're running. Once you understand the software, you understand not only your reality that you're receiving as far as electrical signals.
If he lives to 75.
Okay. So now we've seen that part. Right? I love giving these things right here, man. They need to really, yeah, I like this thing right here. Let's get back to the holographic joint. Let me share the other one back with y'all, man. Peace reflections. Stay with me. I know the attention span ain't long, but stay with me.
As our brain perceives these signals, it will see and live the setting correlated with these. From this computer, we can send to our brain also signals pertaining to our own image. For instance, and send the pre-recorded data to our brain, all kinds of information, ever actual. First, let us suppose that we could take our brain out of our body and keep it alive in a glass jar. Let us put a computer in which all kinds of information can be recorded. Finally, let us transmit the electrical signals of all the data related to a setting.
They go to data. They go to information. The data is the information. And what are the information? What is the genes, right? Genes are the information. I'm going to show you this in a minute. Stay with me, y'all. Yo, the genes are the software. That's the information that this protein will grow to actually have an action as purpose, right? Here's the information. That's the heart. That comes from the nucleus. That's where all the genes come from, right? The nucleus, the software, the center, the heart.
Image, sound, and smell to this computer. Let us connect this computer to the sensory centers in our brain with electrodes and send the pre-recorded data to our brain. As our brain perceives these signals, it will see and live the setting correlated with these. From this computer, we can send to our brain also signals pertaining to our own image. For instance, we can send to our brain the electrical correlates of such senses as sight.
So what they're saying here is that what if you was a brain somewhere else and someone's sending you signals to that brain and you think that you're this person that you are, you're being holographically projected into this reality where you think that you're your body, you think that you're in this situation that you're in, and you're nothing more than a damn brain in some goddamn lab. You figure out, wait, man, are we in a simulation? Yeah, you're a brain somewhere. You see what I'm saying? In somebody's computer. And you got people that are feeding you this program. And this program is making you believe that you have a body and that world is real. Here it is.
Hearing and touch that we perceive while we sit at a desk. In that state, our brain would think itself as a businessman sitting in his office. This imaginary world would continue as long as the stimulations keep coming from the computer.
The issue with this theory right here that we could be a brain somewhere is that wherever, because life is fractal, wherever we're a brain, like say if there's someone that has a whole bunch of brains and people are living out these brains, right? Who's to say that that person doing that isn't a brain living out that reality, doing that to that? You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with that. That's the issue, because all of life is fractal, and we know this through the Fibonacci code, right? So moving forward,
we would never realize that we only consist of a brain. It is indeed very easy for...
Yo, shout out to everybody that's still with me in the room. Shout out to everybody that has an attention span past 5 minutes. Shout out to everybody that mind can focus on true knowledge of self. Shout out to everybody that follows me wherever I go and to hear whatever I got to say and actually listen all the way through. Appreciate y'all, man. I love myself.
Is to be deceived into believing perceptions without any material correlates to be real. This is just what happens in our dreams. For you, reality is all that can be touched with the hand and seen with the eye.
This right here shows you that you can't die. Once you truly understand this conception, and you conceptualize this concept, which is the true divine truth, objective facts, you ain't gonna be scared to die no more. You can't be scared to die no more, because you know that life is an illusion. It's all virtual, bro, and that you really exist somewhere else, and that you're just being tested, and that you're everlasting. We got information now to show us that we can't die. So now you start living life very courageous.
You can also touch with your hand and see with your eye. But in reality, you have neither hand nor eye, nor is there anything that can be touched or seen.
You don't have a hand. You don't have an eye. When somebody says that I live inside my body, I'm not the body, that's bullshit. You are the body. You don't have none. Your body is an illusion of your mind. And I sound crazy to people, but it's the truth.
Taking what you perceive in your dream to be material realities, you are simply deceived. For example, a person deeply asleep in his bed may see himself in an entirely different world in his dream. He may dream that he is a pilot and command a giant airplane. and even spent a great effort to command the plane. This person has not taken even one step away from his bed. In his dreams, he may visit different settings and meet with friends, eat and drink together. It is only when the person awakes from his dream that he realizes all were only perceptions. If we are able to live easily in an unreal world during our dreams,
it's not, and then this is where you start to understand life, is when you go into dream worlds. When you go into the dream world, you realize like, yo, this is crazy. This is real. This is not real until I woke up. And so that's what's going to happen when you die. But you're going to be judged before you go to your next reality.
the same thing can equally be true for the world we live in. When we wake up from a dream, there is no logical reason for not thinking that we have entered a longer dream that we call real life.
Life is but a dream. It's a longer dream called inception.
The reason we consider our dream to be fancy and the world is real is nothing but a product of our habits and prejudices. This suggests that we may well be awoken from the life on earth, which we think we are living right now, just as we are awoken from a dream.
That means that this reality will not exist when you stop observing it. We know this through quantum physics. Get to the last part here. Who is the perceiver?
After all these physical facts arises the question of primary importance. If all physical events that we know are intrinsically perceptions, what about our brain? Since our brain is a matter just like our arms, legs, or any other object, it also must be a perception just like all other objects.
You don't have a brain, you have a mind. You are the observer, you are the perceiver. You don't even have a brain. The brain was just a way for you to understand things. But truly, in everything that you will need to understand is that nothing is real. Everything is an illusion of your own mind. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word and thought was God. Thought, light, is what lights up your world. When you go in your dream, you go into darkness. You go to sleep. You close your eyes. You go into darkness, and all of a sudden, your dreams are lit up. What lights up your dreams? Your mind lights up your dreams. Other stars light up your dream, but they're inside your mind. They're different. They're different dimensions of your mind. Each star is a different dimension of your mind. Not to say that the body is not real in the sense that it's not real, because what is reality? What reality is only what we perceive it to be, you know. So it is real in the sense that it's something that is an importance. It is very important that we understand the body, not to just brush it away like, oh, none of this is real, so I'm just going to do whatever I want. No. It's very important to understand your reality in every intricate of your reality. It's very good to understand every star and what the sun is. You're supposed to go into your reality and explore yourself in all degrees to understand the whole concept of you being here is to know thyself. It's the universe figuring itself out. Once the universe figure out itself, then it can become the supreme being, which is the I am. This is what we're here to do, especially in the information age. But deeper than that, we're here to heal ourselves. To know thyself is to heal thyself. So you don't have a brain. You don't have a body. But what are these symbols? These are symbols of something. And once we understand what these symbols are for, then can we start to create our reality and understand our reality and control our world and create a world that we can be conscious and live in paradise for eternity. So I'll go into it right now to show you the intricacies of the mind. But after this right here.
An example will illuminate the subject further. Let us think that we extend a nerve reaching our brain and put it outside our head, where we can see it with our eyes. In this case, we would be able to see also our brain and touch it with our fingers. This way, we can understand that our brain is also nothing but a perception formed by the senses of vision and touch. Then, what is the will that sees, hears, and perceives all other senses if it is not the brain? Who is it that sees, hears, touches, and perceives the taste and smell?
This is as far as they've gotten in quantum physics. They do not, and science today has not got past this concept of, if you ask them what consciousness is, they cannot tell you what consciousness is. Quantum physics has not come past this part because they cannot scientifically prove it. They don't understand it. This is as far as they've come. Who is the perceiver and what is the perceiver? Here at Carbonation, your boy, I can tell you what the consciousness is. I can break it down because they don't understand, and what they're not computing is astrology. Now, with that being said, okay, you're not a brain. You are consciousness. And I'm going to break that down to you right Nizal. I'm going to show you how your mind works. What is the mind? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Where's that video at? You got that video? That video you just did of mine.
The Holy Trinity?
Yeah. Yeah. The Holy Trinity. Let's show them that real quick. Where's it at? Hold on, my people. Go ahead. You try to hear?
Let's take it.
Okay. Okay, we about to pull it up right now to explain it. I've already did the video. This is edited by Rambo himself. You pull it out? That's it? It's gonna come up in there. Okay, pause it. Okay, cool. Here we go. Now we're going to explain to you the mind, right? Because now we know that the mind is giving us the illusion of having a body in the reality. How does this happen? That's what we need to ask ourselves, right? Here it is. Video done by Rambo. Hope you enjoy. Is it not picking it up well? Is it not picking it up well?
Yes, go on there, reflection.
This is not it, brother. This is not it. No, that's not it. That was not it.
Oh, that was the actual.
No, that's the actual video. But anyway, let me just say it. I will just say it. Listen, this is what it is. In the beginning was the Word of God. Oh, you got it? Okay, thanks, man. Way to come in. But anyway, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God's thought. We understand how this all comes into existence from the Holy Trinity. Okay, cool. All right, cool. We cancel that. Okay, we got it. Instead of me just saying it, so you know, you guys can have pictures with it. Well, Rambo did it, but I did it. I was talking about it. Here it is. The Holy Trinity is darkness, light, and energy. Remember that. And don't ever let nobody take that away from you. That is the divine knowledge. This is mathematics, knowledge itself. The divine Trinity, the Holy Trinity, is the Father, Mother, which is darkness, masculine and feminine energy, and perfect balance is the darkness. Then you have the light, which is thought. This is what God, Father, masculine and feminine energy, uses the sun, which is thought, which is light, to create vibration. Light is frequency, vibration is energy. Energy is vibration. You have the darkness, which is the same as the light. In the beginning was the word, which is the light. Okay, so the darkness would be the darkness that your so-called brain is in, right? But you don't even have a brain, so you are really sitting in darkness right now. You don't have a body. Your mind is the light. That's thought. That is coming through, that gives you your reality. It lights up your reality through electrical, like photons. Photons give you your reality. That's the thought. The thought gives you vibration, which is movement. That's light. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, which is the light, right? In the beginning was the light. And the light was with darkness. And the light was darkness. The same in the beginning with the darkness, all things. The same in the beginning with the darkness, all things were made by it, and without it, nothing was made that was made, pretty much. So basically, the darkness and the light, everything that's in light is a reflection or fraction of what is in the darkness. The darkness is the primordial darkness that quantum physics talks about, the primordial soup of any and every thought that ever could be thought out, any possibility of any thought that could be thought out. Then you have the light. Right? This light is a reflection of the programmed darkness. Now, the darkness would be DNA. Okay? I'm gonna take it from here. Let me show you. And the word was with. Always remember, the darkness is DNA, the gene is light. God, this is the darkness. And I'm gonna bring this full circle, so pay attention. And the word was God. So the light is not separate of the darkness because the light is the darkness. All things were made by thought, by the word, and without the word, thought, nothing was made that was made. Let's say it again. In the beginning, in John 1, in the beginning was the word, that is thought. And the thought was with God. And the thought was God. They were not separate. God is the primordial darkness, in which light is also. So the Holy Trinity is darkness, thought, and energy. They're all one on different frequencies of each other. They're not separate from each other. It's the Holy Trinity. And you remember this. In the beginning was the Word, which is thought. And thought was with God. The light was with the darkness. The same in the beginning with God, all things were made by the thought. And without the thought, nothing was made that was made, because the thought was God. It's the Holy Trinity. The Bible has told you it's Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, but we didn't understand what that meant. It is Father, Mother. It is masculine and feminine together that makes it the primordial darkness. And that darkness changes itself into thought, which is light. And that light creates energy. So God creates frequency, which is light, with itself. Thought created, God created itself in thought. And thought itself into existence. This is the Holy Trinity. This is what it is. This is the divine. This is the highest form of understanding that you're going to be able to see. This is the divine code. The divine light code. And the children of God, the kingdom of God, is when you are getting the divine knowledge. Nothing can be taken away. This is called the Holy Spirit. This is the Holy Spirit, is the holy energy, which is pure divine, which is truth that cannot be denied by mathematics. This cannot be denied. Listen to me very, very clear. This is divine mathematics, and it cannot be deciphered by anybody but God's children. everybody else is going to hit you in the head with some fabricated version of the Trinity. Again, God, primordial darkness, which is feminine and masculine energy in perfect balance. None came before the other. They existed simultaneously together. That is God. God uses thought to create energy, to create movement, vibration. This is the Holy Trinity. God, which is darkness. Light, which is the same as the darkness. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, the darkness. The light was with the darkness. The same in the beginning with God. All things were made with the light, which is thought. Without the thought, nothing was made that was made. Nothing was made that was made. So your mind, which is God, uses thought, which is light, like photon, to create energy. This is the Trinity. Okay, so your mind, remember we talked about the mind, what they said was the brain. We made it concurrent with the brain. And so the holographic universe, your mind is giving you the illusion of the world that you have. But your life path is very others, right? Here, this brother is me. That's me. He's on a different path in his life. He appears to be different to himself and different to me. But he really is me, vibrating at a different frequency of me. Me. All is me. This room is here because my thoughts got me here. But the question is, and what makes the mind signals that I'm receiving? How come my life path is different from your life path? How come you're somewhere different than I am? How come you look different than I look? It's in the mind. Frequency, vibration, right? Share with you the difference. But first, I want to break this down to you. Reflections. This is what I want to break down to you. And I'm going to share this. I just want to remind you because I know you guys already know this stuff. I know you already know this stuff, but I'm going to remind you, okay? You guys are really smart, but I want to remind you. Okay?
Stated Clearly presents, what is DNA and how does it work? Also known as deoxyribonucleic acid.
DNA is the God. That's the darkness, okay? I want you to understand that DNA is the blueprint. That's the all. DNA is the all. Is the blueprint of all thoughts. Okay? Understand that. DNA is God.
Acid is a molecule. It's a bunch of atoms stuck together. In the case of DNA, these atoms combine to form the shape of a long, spiraling ladder, sort of like this one here. If you ever studied biology or saw the movie Jurassic Park, that DNA acts as a blueprint or a recipe for a living thing. But how? How on earth can a mere molecule, something as complex and wonderful as a tree, a dog, or a dinosaur? To help answer that question, let's first take a quick look at amino acids. Amino acids are tiny little chemicals inside our bodies that are...
Now we're going into biology. We have to bring holographic universe into biology. Then we have to go into astrology. Then we have to bring melanin. And then we have to bring Kemet. We have to bring the Bible. We have to bring... This is what makes me master teacher. I'm master teacher because I bring all of these in together. These are different teachers teaching you about different things, but I bring them all together to give you the full picture of what the understanding of life is. And that's what a master teacher is. He takes all of the teachings and bring them together, or she takes all of the teachings and bring it together.
So important. They're often referred...
These are the building blocks of reality. acid.
referred to as the building blocks of life. There's about 20 different kinds, each with their own unique shape.
If we're not talking about this in a so-called conscious community, then we're not very conscious. We're not talking about this stuff instead of talking about look at his life, look at this person, look what he did, look what this. No. This is what we need to be focused on, reflections. If we're not focused on this, then what are we focused on? Nothingness.
The neat thing about them is they can be attached to each other, kind of like Legos, to produce an endless variety of larger particles known as proteins. Got proteins. Proteins, along with other chemicals, combine to form living cells. Cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. And organs, when they're all put together and functioning, of course, combine to form living creatures like you and me.
Y'all take a picture of that if you need to. Take a picture of the screen if you need to, y'all. Amino acids. This is the building blocks of what we are. We have to study this stuff. We have to know these things. When people will talk about he said, she said, and then you ask them what an amino acid is. You know, what is a protein? What are cells made of? What are tissues made of? What are organs made of? You know, ask them that. Like, you know, come on, man. This is what we need to be talking about here. Make up proteins, right? Proteins make up the living cell. And those cells together make up tissues. Those tissues together make up organs. And this is why you are a whole bunch of cells. A cell. Because you are a cell. This is why in carbonation or melanation, we say self. I love myself, CELLF, to make an affirmation to put in your subconscious that you are a cell, to keep reminding you to go back to biology, to always keep you awake. In our way of speaking, we are teaching you how and stay awoke. If you say I love myself, saying I love you is different, because when we know that we hear things first party. If I say I love myself, you know that I just made you say I love myself by hearing me say I love myself. I'm healthy for you because I told you you love yourself, and you just said you love yourself to you. You know what I'm saying? To yourself. So we say CELLF. We just put an F on the end of here, living cells, because you are a cell made up of many other cells, tissues, bones, and organs. Or are you just a mind?
These proteins that make up our bodies, and keep in mind, there's millions of different kinds of proteins. They each have to be formed in the perfect shape in order to function.
Our mind needs to be going into these proteins to understand what these proteins are, because these proteins are affecting our mind. These are affecting our mind. You are what you eat. Need that. These proteins are affecting our minds.
If they're the wrong shape, they usually won't work. That's where DNA comes in. Interesting things, some of which we don't fully understand. Most well understood functions is to tell amino acids how to line up and form themselves into the perfect protein shapes.
DNA, God, universe, it tells things what to do. When this gets accepted, it's saved to downloads. Okay, so need that video, so I'll just go download it. So remember, DNA is God. Always think about DNA as God. Always think about, if you do this, if you think about DNA as being the universe, okay, always equate the DNA to the universe, okay, and always equate the birds, the bees, the humans, everything that we are pieces of genes. We're genes, and we'll get into genes later. This, you will understand life. I'm just showing you a format, how to understand life and how it works. You are genes. We're all pieces of genes. And what are genes? And we'll get into that later. So DNA is the blueprint of the mind of God. That's the darkness.
In theory, if the right proteins are built at the right time and in the right place,
where would they be?
Everything else, from cells to organs to entire creatures, will come out just fine. This here is a simplified model of DNA. It shows us that the steps of the ladder are made up of 4 different kinds of chemicals shown here by different colors and letters. If you look at just one half of the molecule, you can read its chemical sequence or genetic code from top to bottom, sort of like a book. A single strand of DNA is extremely long, millions of letters long. It spends most of its life coiled up like a noodle, living inside the nucleus or the centerpiece of a cell.
Okay, so where is God? God is in you. God, the universe is in you, in every cell of your body. The nucleus, where's God at? Where's the universe at? It's in you. It's in the human body. It's in nature. It's all over the place because it's you and it's inside the nucleus. If you can always remember that DNA is God, is the universe, okay? Just remember this. This is a really good, easy way for you to understand how life works and what it is. And this is how we made up here. This is what I made up for you, just so that you can understand it in the simplest form, that the nucleus holds God. That's God. That's the mind of God. Everything else is an expression, is energy, which is an expression of God. All things are God, expressing God. But if you want to get to the root of what God is, the basis of what God is the darkness. And that darkness has a blueprint. And that blueprint is DNA. Okay. God is DNA. God is the blueprint of all life. Okay. And we are pieces of God, which are pieces of genes. Okay. You guys got that? I want to put that on record. I want to make sure this is taught out and put out. I do not care about, I just hope that this message gets out to everybody that needs to hear it.
Amino acids, however, live outside the nucleus in what's called the cytoplasm.
Okay, so in the cytoplasm, you would call this the atmosphere of the nucleus. The planet Earth is actually the nucleus of a neuron cell. And that's why we get all our information from there. So I'm going to be teaching about that later on. Okay. But the cytoplasm is where the amino acids are. Okay. I'm going to show you something. I just want to make this very clear to you. The cytoplasm is where the amino acids, that's your environment. That's the environment. That's the atmosphere. That would be called nature. Amino acids would be pieces of nature, or like food, or the building blocks of what you are. So that would be your atmosphere. This would be nature. Let's say the cytoplasm is nature, okay? That's your environment, the world that you live in right here. This is the external world that you live in right here, the cytoplasm, okay? So let's think about the cytoplasm as the external world that God perceives itself through, okay? DNA is the blueprint.
To help DNA interact with the cytoplasm and convert those amino acids into proteins, special chemicals inside the nucleus make partial copies of the DNA code.
These copies of the DNA code are genes. These are pieces. This is me. This is you. This is me. This is you. This is me. This is him. This is her. And these are pieces of genes, okay? These genes go on to be cells. But what genes are I'm going to tell you that in a minute. Pay attention. Stay focused, y'all.
Partial copies, called RNA, look a lot like DNA, but they're shorter, of course, and they're missing one of their sides. Their small shape and size allows them to fit through tiny pores in the nucleus, out to the cytoplasm, and into the mouth of another particle called a ribosome.
And the ribosome is your mother's womb. That is the womb, okay? This is where you're made at, in your mother's womb. This is where you get all the nutrients to make who you are. Okay, the ribosome is called the womb. That is your mother's womb. Okay, the ribosome is equivalent. Here you have the code that makes you what you are, which is the gene. The gene is the RNA. The RNA is a copy of the gene. It's a copy of the gene. It ain't gonna just snatch it from the DNA. The piece of gene that the piece of DNA that you are is coded and copied by the RNA. The RNA takes it into the womb, and the womb starts from the cytoplasm, which is the atmosphere. Remember, this is what you're made of, your environment. The environment is what your mother makes you from. All of the things that your mother eats, she smokes, she drinks. Oh, I'm thankful, baby. Thank you. Okay, she eats, she smokes, she drinks. Depends on what you will basically be perceiving, or basically be made from, okay?
Ribosomes are protein building machines.
That's what your mother is. She's a protein building machine. That's what she does. She takes you become a parasite in her. And now your genetic code from your mother and your father come together, and they go into the womb, which is the ribosome that makes you the protein.
They read the RNA code 3 letters at a time, suck amino acids out of their surroundings, and stick them together in a chain according to the RNA code. As the chain grows, it bends, it folds, and it sticks to itself to form a perfectly shaped protein.
Okay, now if you go look at an embryo, it's the same way the embryo is formed. It's the same way these proteins are formed. Guess what? That's what these proteins are.
Every 3 letters of the RNA code tell the ribosome which of the 20 different kinds of amino acids should be added next. For example, CAA tells the ribosome to grab a glutamine. AGU tells it to grab a serine, and so on. Once a protein is built, it can then go on to do a number of different things, one of which could be to help form a brand new cell.
That's who you are. You are a cell made up of a whole bunch of cells, amino acids, and other cells. And it's all fractal. And you are one cell that makes up the planet Earth. You see? Now, this one cell particularly makes a bamboo. See? See, that one cell was so deep in there that it didn't even know that it was on a bamboo. It was that one cell on a bamboo, not even knowing. It was living its life in this area right here on a bamboo's ass and didn't know that it was on a bamboo's ass. And that's what we are. We're one cell living on a planet in a reality, not realizing that we're in our own body, which could be the form of a bamboo or a roach or ant, whatever form of the body. We're on this being and we're destroying it. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
To the original question, what is DNA?
What is DNA, guys? God, the universe. Like Allah, the universe. Whatever you want to call it. It's the universe. Always equate DNA as the blueprint, mind, darkness, primordial darkness. That is what DNA is, the primordial darkness. This is going to make it easier for you to understand it and connect it to where it's supposed to be connected to, understanding God. DNA is God.
DNA is a molecular blueprint for a living thing.
Okay? It's the molecular blueprint for a living thing. And isn't that what God is? It's a molecular blueprint for all living things. Everything comes from DNA through genes. We're all pieces of DNA. We're all pieces of God.
Work? DNA creates RNA. RNA creates protein. Proteins go on to form life.
Seen that? The darkness becomes light, and the light becomes what? Life, which is vibration. DNA becomes a gene, which is thought, which is the information, and the information becomes what?
It creates protein.
Protein, which create what? Energy. Creates life. Here it is, right here. This picture right here, take a picture of it. We need to do this too. We need to actually take these pictures. You know what I'm saying? As I'm doing this, I realize we need to do this anyway. So we have DNA, which is God. Can you guys screenshot it? We have DNA, which is God. Take it off so you know. There it goes. Okay, you got. Well, okay, you got DNA, which is God. Then you have the gene, which is me and you, the piece of God. The gene is actually what makes me and you, the piece of God. We're the expression of God. The protein moves, make movement. We're the vibration of God, okay? So the gene code is what makes you who you are. So look at genes as the blueprint of what makes us individuals. We're a piece of God. So it's your ego. It's your astrological ego. It's your astrological programming. It's who you are and all your reality that it's your perception. It's your perception. It's who you think you are, okay? From the genetic code of God. You're a piece of God. You got that? You got it?
Yeah.
All right, good. And this is the same Trinity right here. This is the Trinity right here, but it's in biology form. Okay? Got the Father, which is masculine and feminine, which is DNA. Then you have the Son, which is thought, which is the light, which is a piece of DNA, which reflects the light. And then you have energy, which is the expression of that genetic thought. Okay? Father, Son, you got darkness, light, energy. Here it is, the Trinity. Ain't that funny?
Yeah.
That's funny right there. Now we're just bringing this into biology. This is what a master teacher does. It brings it to my biology. Okay? We're just connecting these things together.
Proteins go on to form life.
Energy.
This entire process, as complicated, as sophisticated, as magical as it might seem, is entirely based in chemistry.
And chemistry. K-E-M-E-T-R-S-T. What S-T-R-Y. Chemistry. Okay? Chemistry. We're talking about and not talking about biology. Is stupid. It is stupid. And it is ignorant for us not to study biology and talk about chemistry. Can't talk about chemistry, don't talk about the sciences. Come on.
Studied, it can be understood. I'm John Perry, and that's DNA stated clearly.
I'm Master Teacher Nature Boy Tehuti, and that is DNA stated clearly. Now that we know what DNA is, right? I'm going to take you back out. Now I'm going to show you what RNA, what basically is genes, right? This is very interesting, isn't it? This is very interesting.
Stated Clearly presents, what exactly is a gene?
What is a gene, guys? Us, you, me, a piece of God, right? Genes are also information that make us who we are. Genes are the information from DNA, which is the blueprint that makes us who we are as proteins or expressions of God. Can we remember that? Genes are the information or code that basically program our astrological programming that makes us the piece of God that we are. Our genetic codes. Okay, you got two genetic codes that come from your mother, your father, to make who you are. You have codes. Everything is genes. You have the masculine and the feminine meet up. 23 meet up with the other 23, and then you make up your expression of God. Okay, I'm going to explain this to you later on down the line in this video, but I know I'm getting kind of long on this video, but I want to get you to it.
Each one of our cells contains 46 strands of DNA. A single strand is made of millions of particles called nucleotides.
Particles of DNA are nucleotides. And what are the letters of the nucleotides? Can anybody tell me what the letter? Not anybody. Sheba, tell me what the letters are of the nucleotides.
The letters are.
You want to help her out?
Oh, the ACTs and Gs.
Okay, yes. ACTs and Gs.
And these nucleotides
This is how we labeled it. This is how science labeled it.
come in 4 different types, which scientists have labeled A, C, T, and G. A gene is a special stretch of DNA, a sequence of A's, C's, T's, and G's that code for something.
Right. Now, this is a piece of the DNA. This is who you are. This is who each and every one of us are. We are the pieces of DNA. Okay?
A gene contains information for a cell to read and use.
The gene contains information for the cells to read and use. The information that we use allow us to have our purpose in life. So if you, as a child, if you was programmed to do the wrong thing, then you were genetically modified. You had intuitive information that came in. But that intuitive information actually was the information given to you by your parents. All of the reality that you're in is the genetic code. Your reality that you see, everybody in your reality, your family, all are genetic code. And we are, your world, your life is the symbolism of your genetic code. Life, there it is. Mark that, write that down. Life is the symbolism of your astrological energy, of your genetic code. Put that in parentheses, genetic code. Life is the symbolism of your genetic code, your astrological energy, and then put in parentheses genetic code. Life is the symbolism of your genetic code. So the world that you see, the holographic world that you see, it's all symbolic to your astrological code, which is your astrological programming. You got it? It's all symbolic. Everything that you see, from the people to nature, everything is symbolic to the genetic code. It's to your astrological genetic code. And this goes right into astrology to understand understand all of it.
But what exactly does that information do? You might have heard that there's a blue-eyed gene, a freckle gene, possibly even an anger gene, but single genes don't literally make things like eyeballs or freckles or temper tantrums. Genes make proteins.
Here it is. Genes make movement. Protein is basically means movement. It means to move. That's what protein means. It means to move, the movement of life. Look up the etymology of the word protein.
Those proteins then interact with each other, and
they interact with each other.
All sorts of chemicals inside the body.
Inside the body.
Build things like eye pigments, freckles, and mood-altering hormones. A single strand of DNA contains thousands of genes or unique protein recipes.
Unique protein recipes. That is what a gene is your astrological recipe. Your astrological recipe. You can say it that way too. It's your astrological recipe.
20,000 altogether. Some genes are small, 100 letters long.
Now, a small gene doesn't have the capacity of the mind of God. The mind of God would be all of this together, right? Some people are small genes. Some people, no matter how much you try to fill them up with your life. Oh, let me see.
Others are well over 1 million.
Okay. So here you are, a large gene. You're more of DNA than someone that is a small gene. And y'all can clip this later out of the video. You have a large gene is a large-minded person. They have more of the mind of God than someone with a small gene. They have a bigger purpose than someone with a small gene. This person, you try to give them the light or the information that you have, they don't have the capacity for the light that you have. They have a small purpose in life. Maybe they're just a stumbling block. Maybe they're supposed to be a part of Babylon. Maybe they were genetically modified to be a small gene because they're in your reality and they're symbolic of what not to do. You, therefore, are more of what we all are, which is DNA. You are a large gene. See how that works? Okay.
The length and sequence of a gene determine the size and shape of the...
There it is. You a large gene. Here's a small gene. Small mind, large mind. Because remember what God is. God is the darkness. God is thought. God is mind. This is the peace of God, the peace of thought. Some people got a small mind. Some people got big minds, have capacity for more light. Okay. And some people have small minds depending on their what? Astrological program, which is the what? Genetic code. You're a big gene. You're a big protein because you're a big gene. You got a big purpose. You got a bigger purpose than the smaller part of yourself. Remember, this is still you. No matter, just because it's small doesn't mean it's you. It's just less of what you are. Smaller minds are still reflections of you. It's just that you're more of what we all are. Some of you are more of what we all are, which is DNA, which is God.
Protein it builds. The size and shape of the protein determine the function that protein will have inside the body.
There it is. The size. I'm going to rewind that. Did you hear that?
Determine the function that protein will have inside the body. Protein, the size and shape of the protein.
The size and shape of the protein will determine the function.
Determine the function that protein will have inside the body.
See?
Hemoglobin, for example, is a protein structure found in red blood cells. Its unique shape and size allow it to capture oxygen molecules when blood flows near the lungs. later, when blood flows near oxygen-starved tissue.
Now, what you got to realize is that each cell has a purpose. Some people are here just to be a stumbling block in your life. Some people are just here to be cancer cells or negative. They don't have the capacity to actually be understanding. They're not here to understand. They're a piece of yourself that doesn't genetically have the code to actually know what you know. So they're here to show you what not to do. They're a reflection of they're symbolic to you of what not to do. Your parents that can't get this, or your friends or so-called family that can't get it, will not have the code.
Oxygen-starved tissues. Pepsin is a digestive protein. Allows it to break down food inside your stomach so it can be absorbed by the body. Keratin is a structural protein. Its unique shape and size allow it to link together with other keratin proteins to form hard structures like fingernails, claws, and beaks.
Now, every protein on this earth, whether that's a bird, an ant, has a purpose. You notice that everything in this, every protein, that's what we are, right? We're proteins, right? We're big. You say, oh, you got to eat meat to get protein, right? We got to eat meat. We got to eat an animal to get protein, remember? Because an animal is protein, right? That's what they'll say is protein. It's the building block. We need the amino acids to get the sugars and all the proteins that we need. So we got to go eat flesh. We got to go get the protein, right? So that's what I'm saying. We're all walking proteins. You see what I'm saying? We all have a function inside this body that we're in, which is our own mind. All the ants, everything has its functions. And depending on how big the genetic code is the bigger purpose. Some of you are more of God than others.
Different creatures have different genes, which is ultimately why their bodies look and function.
Okay. So now we see that the external world is symbolic of the genetic code. See, the code of an elephant that makes an elephant is symbolic. The elephant is symbolic. It's symbols. This is a world of symbols. Everything that you see in your reality is symbolic to the genetic code. And so until we start messing, this is why they're messing with our food. Because you mess with the food, you mess with people's reality. You genetically modify food. You genetically modify people's genes, then you can control their mind. You're controlling reality when you control genes. This is why we have to understand biology. What you put in your body alters your gene play out. Right? And I'll get to that part in a minute. But everything in our reality that we see, our holographic universe, is not real, but a symbolic version of the genetic code of the mind of God, which is DNA. This is deep. You're not going to hear this nowhere else.
But one of the many reasons scientists...
Plato was talking about the world being symbolic. Everything is symbolic to something else. That something else was DNA.
Believe all life on Earth is related is that the basic DNA code, the language of A's, C's, T's, and G's, is pretty much the same for all living things.
See, all living things have the same DNA because we all are one. Everything is one. Everybody is one. Everybody comes off of DNA. And they're just different expressions of A, C, T's, and G's. The nucleotides, which make what? DNA, which is the mind of God. Through genes, we're all different expressions of God. So we're all different proteins. We're all different cells. Cell, protein, same thing, right? You are a self. A self. I am a cell. I am a cell. We just put an F on the end of this LL to let us remind us that we are cells inside of our own body, but we are inside of our own mind. We're inside of our own mind, and everything that's outside is an illusion or symbolic of genetic code, a projection of genetic code. This is where we take the holographic universe and bring it into biology. We take DNA and all of that. We have to bring it all into biology. Then we have to take astrology. Then we have to take melanin. Then we have to take all of these things and put them together. This is what makes me the master teacher, because I bring all of these things together to show you what reality truly is. Everything in your waking reality is nothing more than symbols of or expressions of this God, including you. But it's all an illusion.
Many creatures even...
Y'all got those quotes written down, right? Good. Because this is streaming out of me. I'm surprised that my own fucking teacher is like, oh shit.
There are some of the same genes. You might not be too surprised to learn that humans and chimps, which are closely related, share 96% of their genetic code. But what would you think a lowly fruit fly has in common with a beautiful swimsuit model?
One has a larger gene. One has a larger gene of the all. One has a bigger purpose. One is more conscious than the other. Due to what? Due to the genetic code.
Surprisingly, about half of its genes. Because all creatures use DNA in pretty much the same way, genetic engineers have found...
Here we go. This is where they're getting you. Pay attention to this part, because now we're talking about genetic engineering. Genetic engineers have found ways to genetically modify codes to control the symbols of your reality. Whoa. They're controlling your reality. Remember, your reality is a holographic projection. So you have to peep this. They're doing this in your supermarkets. I have a supermarket video where I'm walking through the supermarket and I'm showing you. Do you have that supermarket video on my Tehuti TV page? It's on Tehuti TV page. You can go to my Tehuti TV page, download that video, go watch that, get that download, because I walk through the whole supermarket and I show you how to genetically modifying your DNA. They're genetically modifying you, and what happens with genes, it tells the being what to do. So if they can control your genes, then they can control your mind, because you are symbolic or expression of the mind, of the genetic code that you have been designed to be. And a lot of you are genetically designed to be cancer cells. Go to cancer real quick after this, and then we're going to end this video, and I'm going to do a part 2 later tomorrow. And maybe today, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know.
If they take a gene from, say, a bacteria cell,
they're going to take a gene from a bacteria cell, right? A piece of a gene, which makes up basically what that is, right? They're going to take a gene from there.
DNA of an animal or a plant cell. That animal or plant cell will then read the new gene.
With the RNA, they take the gene out of one being, out of a bacteria, right? Some bacteria. They take that gene out of that, and they put that gene inside of a animal
and produce the bacterial protein.
Now they have genetically modified the animal. Through food, they do it to you. They put certain bacteria in your food, in the McDonald's, nanotechnology in your food. As far as nanotechnology, they're putting it inside your foods over there to alter the gene play out.
Engineers have mixed and matched the genes of different organisms to produce many new...
Mix and match the genes of different organisms. That is against my law.
Creatures.
God didn't make no mistakes. You're not supposed to be eating this food. Obviously, if God sends or the universe sends something to eat it away, we're going to impose our will upon the earth. We're going to eat this food anyway. So you're going to get exactly what you deserve.
Including corn that is toxic to insects, but supposedly safe for human.
How is it toxic? If it's pesticidal to the animals, what make you think it ain't going to kill you? Aren't you living bacteria? So check this out. Check this out. Check this video out. I'm gonna stop this video right for a minute, and I'm gonna pull this video up for you. Check this out. Stop that. Then I'm gonna share with this one with you. Watch this right here.
Welcome to the...
This is my dude, Bruce Lipton. You gotta study him, man, because he's the dude that's been teaching us about biology. He's the divine teacher. I'm the master teacher because I take his studies and I put them with astrology, and I put all of these teachings and I put them all together for you to understand it. And I've been doing this for years. Check it out.
Of my laboratory. Today, I got a great story for you.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not even presenting it to the. Here it is.
Welcome to the bowels of my laboratory. Today, I got a great story for you. Many times, science is just about minutia details that are.
About 2 years ago, I made this video for you guys. I clipped it up, put it on my YouTube. Not many people seen it, but I clipped it up. I've been studying this for years. Here it is.
Totally uninteresting to the general public, but I have an article today that is going to change the world, and it's about a new understanding of what is called microRNAs.
Remember the RNA, right? The RNA was a gene. That is a gene that a copy of a gene is called an RNA. Remember that? We just seen it. We just seen it that a gene was a copy of an RNA. Well, the RNA is a copy of a gene, should I say. The RNA is half of that little thing, and it makes a copy, and it goes out of the nucleus into the cytoplasm, into the ribosome to make that protein. That was the RNA, right? This is called microRNA. That's information in all things. Everybody carries microRNA. Every living being carries microRNA. Basically, it's just RNA, but it's microRNA. They call it microRNA.
Don't go away yet. It's not that serious. Let me just tell you about it. Here's what it's all about. Once, a long time ago, we thought that genes control life. And then there new research that information that I was pioneering over 45 years ago, my stem cell cultures, have now revealed a new science of genetics called epigenetics. Epi above, genetics, so above genetics, information and control above genetics. We find that the environment is translated by the cell, and that environmental information is then used to select and activate the genes. It's really cool, and this is epigenetics, and yet we find out, well, what is it that actually alters the readout of the genes? Well, that's where the microRNAs come in. Now we find that the microRNAs are actually epigenetic.
Here goes the microRNA right there, right? Got its own womb to make its protein. And here it is, microRNA. Look, you see that? This is the microRNA right here. Here's your microRNA. This is what's going on in your body right here in the cytoplasm, right, of each cell of your body. Then, when you eat something, it has its own microRNA. When you eat the wrong thing,
mechanisms, the microRNAs bind to.
Look what it does. This is the food that you're eating. When you have sex with someone, they have microRNAs. When you kiss someone, you are now ingesting that person and their microRNAs. And now when you kiss them, you are now mixing your genetic code with them. This is how important it is. When you swallow each other, you having sex, you let them come inside of you, or you put your penis inside of her and go inside your penis, and you guys are genetically sharing each other's microRNAs when you eat food, when you listen to music, but basically when you put stuff in your body, whatever you put in your body. Now, music is another whole thing. That's vibration. That does affect your DNA as well, but your genetics as well. But here it is.
The chromosomes and alter the readout of the gene.
So here your gene right here, right, was getting made. It was, you had your own microRNA right here getting made. The food you ate came and interrupted, or would I say modified your proteins within the body, right? This would be like me or you, right? So you had something come along, give you misinformation to make to make another protein that has nothing to do with what was organically designed to. This is how they're playing with God. They're playing God. So now this is your original code, the blue one right here. This is the food you ate. The food you ate that was not supposed to be in your body now comes in and tries to live in your body by creating its own protein. And then you have cancer cells that come from this genetically modification. Cancer cells, because this is going to make a cell. You see what I'm saying? This is going to make a protein. So you eating the wrong food now genetically modifies the situation.
So that a single gene program can be modified to create thousands of different kinds of proteins from the same blueprint based on this epigenetic modification. For the longest time, we thought if we just eat food, our digestion.
People like, oh, you need to be raw vegans and all of this stuff. Here's the proof right here. It don't matter if you cook your food or not. You cannot break down microRNA. It doesn't matter.
The system breaks down that food, and the cooking will break down living things, or freezing and all that will neutralize all the aspects of the food so that we can use just food as building blocks. However, something new is found. And this is about the microRNA. It turns out that the microRNA molecules in the food we eat is picked up by our digestive system and transferred to our own cells and regulates our own genetics.
Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Food we eat is picked up by our digestive system and transferred to our own cells and regulates our own genetics.
So all of a sudden, the concept of what you eat, you become, actually has a scientific foundation to it. It says that we alter our own genetic readout by the food we eat.
Yo, there it is. So your supermarket is a goddamn pharmacy. Your supermarket is the new drug spot. Your supermarket is the new goddamn drug dealer. Yeah, it's a pharmacy. It's where you go get your hit. Y'all niggas is crackheads, but you're sugar heads because it's more than that. So we out here and your supermarket is literally killing you. And I went in the supermarket in my supermarket video and then running it down. I ran the whole situation down to you. You understand? This is Kemet. This is Kemet. Don't let nobody tell you about black power. And that. We ain't talking about chemistry. We ain't talking about biology. Then what we talking about? This is Kemet right here, y'all. What you eat, who you deal with, alters your genetic playout. You could genetically modify yourself by dealing with a scum-ass person that got GMO genes themselves. You dealing with somebody eating McDonald's. You know they genetically modified. That motherfucker eating Wendy's. Working for the government. Work just all the way in Babylon. These people will stress you the fuck out and have you genetically modifying your cells just by dealing with them because they're on that vibration. Just by even listening to them will dumb you down and dumb yourselves down because through sound and vibration, that actually plays a part on your genes and regulating your genes play out too. So when you hear the truth, it actually activates and heals your genes. When you hear a lie, yo, your genes are actually get damaged because that's misinformation, that's genetically modification.
This study by Bouchereau and Choupeau, we're studying the uptake of microRNAs from rice in diets of an Asian diet. And what they found was that the microRNAs were not broken down in the digestive system. They were picked up intact from the food, transported across the wall of the gut, and then they enter the blood of our biology.
They enter your blood, bro. That's where they got you. In the food you eat, they got you in that, but deeper than that, the people you deal with. Because the people you deal with ain't nothing but the expression of the food they eat. Just converting it into motherfucking another electrical signal. People that don't eat right.
Well, this becomes really, really relevant in a world where we are now playing with genetically modified foods.
In a world where we playing with genetically modified foods, yeah. Y'all about to see what's going to happen. Y'all going to be the result of it.
Because we're going to be picking up epigenetic microRNAs that we have no knowledge about, that have never really been in our diet or on our planet before. What is the consequence of altering our genetics with unknown microRNAs? Well, we're soon going to find out about that.
We're soon going to find out about that. You said it right, brother. My brother Bruce Lipton, go check him out. Yo, dude is heavy on it, bro. I'm telling you, we on it. We on the truth. We in the information age. Fuck out of this system. Out of this information age. We getting the best out of it. When I say we getting, I mean me and my direct reflections. My direct reflection is the people that's rocking with me, man. We getting the best of this. Now check it out. We're going back into the genes again.
Tomatoes that last up to twice as long in the grocery store before going bad.
You see your food? It's modified. They modifying your food, man. They playing with your food, man. Why you gotta get to the tropics and grow your own food, man? They messing with you. They're not modifying anything but your mind, because your mind is your food. Giving you misinformation, not organic, trill information. They modifying the information going to your genes, and your brain don't do nothing but articulate what? The information was within your genes.
Form of bacteria that produce the human protein insulin from these bacteria and give to people with diabetes who need extra insulin to survive. So just to sum things up a bit, what exactly is a gene? A gene is a special stretch of DNA, not the entire strand of DNA, just a segment that codes for something. Each gene is like a unique recipe.
That's you. That's your astrological code. That's your astrological code. That's your astrological code. That's your astrological code. Same motherfucking thing. We walking around just pieces of each other. We pieces of each other. We pieces of the same thing, walking around with different purposes and different understanding and different things to share with one another. But what happens when the gene is modified? What happens is modified. Let's find out. I got more for you. I can go all day. I told you, bro. I do this. This is what I do. This is what I does. I love it. 47. This is who I am. I want to show you something. What happens when that gene is modified? Watch this.
Cancer or cancer cells are cells. Cancer cells are cells that have lost the ability to follow the normal control that the body exerts on all cells. In our body, we have billions and billions of cells, and they have different functions. It's a very complicated process under incredibly phenomenal control. And if something goes wrong and that control is lost, then particular cells escape the normal control mechanisms, and they continue to grow, and they may spread. That's what we call cancer.
Those cells together, we would call that a tumor. Cancer is a malignant tumor.
That's what it is. Now, what allows cancer? Do we have the video that shows about cancer, the code and the genetic modification in cancer? You know what? I'll just pull it up. I'll just pull it up right now. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pull it up on y'all. I'm gonna pull it up on y'all right now. I'm gonna share my screen again. Easier now to do. I'm gonna share my application window. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we say cancer. Right, boom. And then there's one of these that's talking about, okay, I believe is this one. How cancer starts.
What is cancer and how does it start?
Yeah, my man.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anthony Commonwealth. Made up of cells, trillions of them. Cancer begins when one cell starts to grow uncontrollably. Cells grow by dividing. One cell divides into 2 cells, 4 cells, and so on. Healthy cells divide only when they need to. For a baby to grow in a mother's womb, and then after birth to grow into an adult. Even after we become an adult, cells must divide to replace old or damaged cells. Normal cells divide in a controlled way, just when they need to. On the other hand, divide uncontrollably.
Now, see, cancer in the body don't listen to the body. Why? Why? We want to figure out why. It's another video that I want to pull up. Let me see. I think it's this one.
A normal cell to a cancer cell. Take 5 minutes to get the picture. More than 60,000 billion cells make up the human body. They are the units that form the tissues which make up our organ.
You are a cell in the human body. You are a cell in the human body. It's all fractal.
Like the liver, heart, and lungs. When the body needs it, our cells split into two and replace those cells that are defective or have come to the end of their lifespan. This makes it possible for our tissues to preserve their shape and their respective functions with the passage of time. Every cell is therefore programmed to multiply and die. Complex program is controlled by the center of the cell, the nucleus, which contains chromosomes containing many genes made up of DNA.
There it is. Brent, let's rewind it. This is the video I was looking for. Now I'm going to show you how we fucking cancer cells in the planet reflection. Take 5 minutes to get the picture. Take 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Picture. More than 60,000 billion cells make...
Each one of us are a cell on this organism we call the Earth. But the Earth is a neuron cell as well, out of your own body. Everything is fractal. You're a body inside of a body, inside of a body, inside of a body, inside of a body. That's what we are. Infinite levels of reality, of reality. We're inside of body that there could be. So we are in the body of a tree, that's in the body of a human, that's in the body of a roach, that's in the body of a shrimp, that's in the body of a... We're just infinite bodies of every body that ever can be. And when the Christ conscious, which you and me are, when we get here, it's time to heal the organism that we harness. Dude, we the cleanup crew. We bring things in the balance and the harmony with what? With fever, baby, with fever. How the body heals itself from cancer. But first, I got to show you how cancer is developed. It's developed with misinformation, genetically modifying the cell's genes. When you take the cell's genes and give it the wrong information, then the cell is going to act out that wrong information. And that's what we have been. From the day you was born, you was programmed to not be a regular immune system neuron cell. You've been programmed to be a cancer cell in the government system. They took you to school. They went in school for 8 hours and programmed you. Then this program and your school program, they programmed you to be a cancer cell. They programmed you how to eat. They programmed your senses. They programmed everything you are. Now, who is they? They is your lowest self. They're symbolic to everything that you're not. They're symbolic to everything you're supposed to overcome and all of the obstacles of what you are. Now, once we understand this, now we are here in the information age, given the grace period to figure it out. If you are divine, then you're going to figure it out. And when you figure it out, you're going to wake up and you're going to wake up everybody else. This is what happens. You're going to live it, you're going to be it, and you're going to let them see it, and you're going to expose it until the day you transpire and transition to your next life where you'll be doing the same thing forever and ever, ever more. You are an angelic being. You are the peace that came to bring peace. Woo! The peace that came to bring the peace. Okay? So I want to show you right now how we are a cancer and why we're doing the things we're doing on this plane that we're on this organism that we're in, and inside of our own body. Imagine you have cancer. You're sitting in a hospital. You go into a sleep state and you go inside your own body as a cell in your own body to heal your own body. As a cell in your own body being projected into your own body, the world going to look different. It's going to be a symbol of the genetic code. The world that you see will be a symbolic to the cancer cell. Okay? It's a symbol. It's not real. It's an illusion. It's a holographic universe. It's symbolic to the genetic code of that existence, which is inside your body. And you came down there inside your body while you sitting in that hospital to heal yourself. And so you went into a dream state and woke up inside of your body. When you woke up inside your body, it was your job to heal that planet, that plane of existence, which is basically a dimension of your own body. So you are on a cell within your own body here to bring change. And so what happens? We're going to tell you what happens. I'm going to break down for it right now. We're going to show you right now. Boom.
Up the human body. They are the units that form.
take 5 minutes.
Normal cell to a cancer cell. Take 5 minutes to get the picture. More than 6.
From a normal cell, you was born normal. Or were you born normal? Or did you have the genetic code to be programmed and not be able to unprogram that program? Because a lot of us have been programmed to be programmed, be cancer cells to heal the cancer. And because we have what it takes in our program as a genetic code to actually be able to find the truth. Some of us don't have it in our genetic code to find the truth because we were designed to be a cancer cell. Some astrological energies are more compatible being a cancer cell than it is being a normal cell. When you have debilitations in your chart, that lets us know here in melanation or carbonation, it lets us know you was designed to be a cancer cell. That's all that you can be. I know that because people have come with me, try to live with me and couldn't live with me because they couldn't be normal. They had to go back to Babylon. And you think they would leave here and stay in harmony with the universe. But look at the people that leave here. They always go back to Babylon. Go check on them. They in Babylon. Straight like that.
60,000 billion cells make up the human body. They are the units that form the tissues which make up our organs.
Remember? Proteins, amino acids make up proteins. Proteins make up cells. Cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. Organs make up organisms. Right? And so you are one cell inside of a being. Remember when it showed the bamboo? It's like one cell was on that bamboo. That's what you are. You that one cell. That's a piece of all the cell. But some of us are more of the being that we are. We're more in tune. We're more of what we all are than others. Some of us as cells are more of the DNA than others are. Could be big genes. That's our new shit. Our new shit is, what's up, Big Gene? Big Gene, how you feeling, Big Gene? Okay, Small Gene. Okay, Small Gene. I see you deflection. You're a deflection. You're a deflection. You're not a reflection. You're a deflection. Small Gene. I feel you, Small Gene. Let's get it.
Like the liver, heart, and lungs. When the body needs it, our cells split into two and replace those cells that are defective or have come to the end.
That's called procreation, right? Those called procreation for us. We're not one single cell. We come in twos. We're different kind of cell. Our cell, we come in twos. We have to come together to make another baby. You see what I'm saying?
End of their lifespan. This makes it possible for our tissues to preserve their shape and their respective functions with the passage of time. Every cell is therefore programmed to multiply and die. This
not die, but transform one lifespan to another one. They say die, but they also call your poop waste when it's not waste. Everything is a borrowing of energy. It's not die. You don't die. Nothing dies. Nothing can be destroyed. They know that, but they keep saying that. The cell doesn't die. Everything's transformed from one, but they just say die just to play with your mind. And if you don't catch it, then you're going to be sucked into the genetically modification that they doing to these other fools. We got to peep this stuff right here. This is where life is. This is where it's at right here.
This ordered but complex program is controlled by the center of the cell, the nucleus, which contains...
The nucleus, which contain what? God, right? God.
Chromosomes containing many genes made up of DNA.
Made up of what? God. Genes are what? Us. Expressions of God. Right? Protein that make proteins. Well, the gene is the information that make us. That's our astrological programs.
Some of these genes undergo a change.
Some of these genes, which is the information that make the protein, which is us, undergo a change. Well, as soon as you got into this realm, you was programmed. So you was someone changed you. You had intuitive information when you first came here. No one had to tell you who you were. You were already programmed by the universe. But someone, when you first came here, told you that you was this, told you was that, told you this, told you the colors. They programmed you to the reality. Now you have to unfuck yourself and then go to point zero and then reteach yourself the truth and then open up your intuitive information. How you going to do that? Well, you do that with the information age. The information age is here for that. And I'm going to go into that healing, the healing process.
The nucleus then sends out abnormal orders and
here goes. The nucleus sends out abnormal orders from the genes, right? And then those genes sending out abnormal orders, meaning that you have misinformation. They told you that Christopher Columbus discovered America. That's genetically modification. That's not the truth. They taught us in school a whole bunch of lies. Those were GMOs. They genetically modified our minds. They didn't give us the truth in school. They didn't teach us no truth in school. They taught us lies in school. They taught us truth with lies. They genetically modified us to believe a certain reality. And we live in that reality called what? Babylon. Babylon is the reality. And that Babylon reality in the body that we're living in is called cancer. And that's what we are. We are a tumor. We're living in a tumor of our own body. Huh?
A cell goes wrong. It multiplies uncontrollably and takes on a life of its own.
Having sex whenever. We have no regard for nature. We don't care about the laws. We don't care about the laws of the universe, which is the regular cells are regulated by that law. We don't care about those laws. Do as thy wills. That's what we think. As long as we obey the laws within the realms of the cancer cell, which is Babylon, then you're good. But those laws are based in lies and not divine wisdom and divine code of the matrix that was already here, which is nature. Controlling, creating force of the universe, God's will.
Each new cell produced contains the same defect. The cells proliferate.
The same defect because they produce themselves. That's what they're reducing. You got your mother and your father were cancer cells. They produced a cancer cell. But some of us came in as cancers, but had the program to turn out and reverse the effect. This is called the Christ conscious. We have the program to reverse the effect so that we can heal the rest of the cancer. We could destroy the cancer, but we can't do that by fighting them and killing them like they would in the body. We have to actually leave and starve the cancer. The cancer dies by starving it. You got to starve that motherfucker. You got to stop giving it your energy. Now, when you leave, now listen, it ain't going to be enough of us to starve them. But guess what? The thing about the cancer cell is the cancer cell is going to destroy itself. Watch this.
Chaotically and form a tumor. This process may be short, but is often long. 10 to 30 years may separate the...
And that's what these cities are. These cities are tumors. That's what they are. They tumors. And I'm going to show y'all with a video. It's in the file, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do this and I'm going to show you.
Birth of a first abnormal
Then I'm going to show you how it heals.
Cell from the appearance of a tumor of about 1 cubic centimeter. Forms many blood vessels in order to survive.
Look, here's where the tumor, the city, this is what the city do. It takes from nature. You see everything around here is all normal. This is the trees and all of nature. Here goes the city right here. The city will take from nature. It takes the supplies that it needs from nature. Watch what it does in the body.
These will supply the tumor with oxygen and nutriments, allowing it to live and grow.
Boom! There it is, bro. This is what Babylon does. It sucks from the fucking planet. All the oil, all the fucking electricity, everything that it needs, it sucks it from its surrounding areas, which is basically nature. This is what we're symbolizing. This is what's behind the illusion. This is what's behind the illusion. You're only seeing your life, which is, I told you, it's a holographic projection. That is just a symbolic. It's all the world that we live in is all symbols of something that is truly going on. So when we know what's truly going on, we lift the veil off the symbols and we say, "Oh, that's symbolic of what we're actually doing as cancer on our own body. We're living on a human body, and we're basically destroying this whole thing." Yeah, that's what we're doing. Check it out.
This is what we call the phenomenon of angiogenesis.
This is where you big cities. This is behind the symbolism. This is what we're doing to the plane that we're living in, the existence or the dimension of our own body that we're living in. Not even realizing that we're in our own body. These cancer cells don't realize that they're a part of a host. They're just trying to survive off the genetically modified information that they have. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. But they're trying to survive.
The tumor, however, only really becomes dangerous when...
Now the tumor makes copies of itself, goes into the bloodstream, and goes to what? Here we have an organ. Look, now the bloodstream goes into the bloodstream and goes to another organ. Guess what the organs of this being is? Every land that we have is the organs of this planet. All the land that you see is an organ of this planet. And what have we done? We have colonized. The cancer has colonized every land. all the land it colonizes, seeps in, and now everywhere Babylon lives.
Cells begin to invade through the vessels into the adjacent areas.
Now you go into the vessels, which is the waters. They get on the boat. They get in the boat and they travel through the rivers and travel through they got a boat, and now they become malignant, and they go in this land and they go cause confusion on this land and take all the supplies from this land, and they destroy all of this. They use all of that. They destroy everything they touch. But guess what the cancer does? The cancer destroys the host. But guess what? It never outlives the host. It self-destructs. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to kill itself. That's what the cancer is going to do. All you got to do is God's law and get the hell out the way. Come out of Babylon, or you will be destroyed with Babylon. Babylon going to destroy itself. You got to get out the way of the destruction.
And spread to the surrounding organs.
The organs ain't nothing but the land that we live on of this organism. That's the land. That's the organs.
These cells can then invade other parts of the body, multiply and produce new tumors. Metastasis is the term used for this spreading process. But why does a cell become cancerous?
Cell becomes cancerous. Why does a cell become cancerous? How does this happen?
There are many factors, and they can exist to different degrees. Factors such as...
Okay. Boom. I'm going to tell you how it happens through astrological programming. This is why most people are cancers through the astrological program. I could look at your birth chart and tell you if you are cancer. I could tell you if you are cancer. I could look dead at your birth chart if you are a cancer cell or not. Now check it out. I'm going to pull up something else. What I said, I was going to show the city, right? Busy streets of New York. Which one?
The New York City skyline. Right there.
This one?
Yep.
There it is. And I'll just open up another one. I'll just keep that open. Boom. I want to show y'all something. Check me out. Take a minute and look at this reflection. I want you to look at that reflection. That all used to be trees. It all was trees, reflection. Getting that power at for those lights. That all was trees, reflection at one time. Malignant? Malignant? Cancer? Hell yes. How do you think all those lights are on? They're sucking that energy from the earth. Literally harnessing that energy from the earth. Look at that. That all was jungle at one time. It was all a jungle. Now look at it. It's an organ. And we went and we destroyed and took down every tree that was there. Look at it. That's called cancer, my friends. Cancer. Look at it. All right, I wanted to show you that. Then I wanted to show you this. And I'm going to end the video right here. Boom. Here we go. Here we go. Because y'all know I go all day.
Genetics, it is a revolution that changes the world. It is the most important revolutionary discovery in biology. Is a new science called epigenetics.
Now, what epigenetics is a new science out called epigenetics. And epigenetics is genes do not control our lives, but our environment, and the food that we eat basically controls our genes. Our environment, our perception of our environment, which comes through our astrological program, controls our genes. That's what epigenetics is about.
Of epigenetics.
But I want to show you something that Bruce says in this video, and I'm gonna close it out here. Here's a 40 well-studied biologist breaking this shit down. Go study epigenetics. Gotta study epigenetics if you went to chemistry.
It is a revolution that changes the world. It is the most important revolutionary discovery in biology, tantamount to the finding of quantum physics as opposed to classical Newtonian physics in the world of physics. Epigenetics is a game changer. It changes everything we know for this reason. Means above. When I say skin in the Latin terms, it's called epidermis. What does that mean? The layer above the dermis. So when I say epigenetics, what does that mean? I say, well, wait, what have you been programmed with? Genetic control, control by genes. I say, what's the new science? It's called epigenetic control. I say, what the heck does that mean? I go, control above the genes. And all of a sudden you start to realize this, the control wasn't in the genes ever at all. It was above the genes, and it comes from the environment. And it turns out that the skin of the cell, which is translating the environmental signals, is the brain of the cell. And that's why we call it the membrane.
It's your membrane. It is the brain of your cell. Your skin is connected to your nervous system. Take your clothes off. And everybody make fun of me because I'm always with my shirt off. Wilding out like, yo, this nigga naked in the jungle making fun of me. Like, how you gonna be a cancer cell and not understand? I'm laughing at you that you don't even understand that your skin is your motherfucking brain.
Membrane of the cell. And cells are miniature people. So a lot of people say, well, if cells are miniature people, then are you telling me, Bruce, that my nervous system is connected to my skin? And the answer is embryology. You would know that because the nervous system is derived from one of the germ layers in the fertilized egg called the ectoderm. And there's only two structures that come from ectoderm: skin and nervous system. So you and the cell are exactly the same. So a cell is a miniature human. And then
you and the what? The cell is a what? You said what? And where's that last one we seen? That last one you sent me, remember? And it's in the it should be in the downloads, right? The one with the one.
And so a cell is a miniature human.
The cell is a what?
The same. So a cell is a miniature human. And then when you have signals hit your surface.
Whoa, this is a biologist. Just said it.
So you and the cell are exactly the same. So
you and the cell are exactly the same. That's fractality. That's fractal. Everything in the universe is fractal. That's actually mathematics. Just because your body's giving you a symbol that you're okay. Everything in your physical reality is symbolic. It's not what it appears to be. It's just a symbol of what is. Your body looks like it looks right now, but you could very well be a cell. You act like a cell. It's just a symbol of what you are. The whole world is an illusion. I'm trying to break the veil for you so you can see what's really going on.
Nervous system. So you and the cell are exactly the same. So a cell is a miniature human. And then when you have signals hit your surface, your skin picks up the information, translates it via the nervous system, and controls your biology.
Oh, better take them clothes off. Better get to the sun. Better get some natural water in your life. You feel what I'm saying? Better get that natural water in your life. It's ill. Last one. I got one last one, and I'm ending this video.
You dragged it, yeah, should be that one. The one he sent you, right?
No, I'm talking about the one that's talking about the organism of the planet. Planet being an organism. I don't know if you sent it and if it's in the downloads. Let me see.
In the download folder.
When was it today?
If you go to that folder on the bottom, it'll be the most recent ones. You drag the mouse all the way down. Oh, not on the screen. Not on the screen. That folder that pops up when you drag the mouse.
Okay.
Left.
Left? Right here?
Yeah. Those are the recent ones.
These are the all recent ones. Send it to me again, bro.
You got that video? The long one?
Oh, it was a long one you sent, right?
Yeah, we had to clip it, but it's in there.
It's in there. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Good. Okay. We got it. This is the last one, and we're going to close this one out, y'all. Classic video right here. It's the last one. We're going to close this one out right here. Present it, share it with y'all real quick. We're not going to show you the whole one. It's just the beginning.
To explain this very called the human body, and billions of human we call oxygen accumulated, making way. The Earth is believed to have formed 4.6 billion years ago. Within the first 150 million years, it began cooling and releasing gases from the lithosphere, which created the earliest forms of the Earth's atmosphere. Prior to the creation of this atmosphere, the sun's ultraviolet radiation made for uninhabitable conditions. But as the Earth cooled further, water condensed in the atmosphere, and oxygen accumulated, making way for organic compounds. This spawned single-celled organisms, and then plant life. And down through time, the evolutionary chain continued. And then we arrive at a species that does not seem to fit as well as the rest. Homo sapiens' gestation period of 9 months mimics the 3.8 billion year evolution of all life on Earth. The human embryo repeats the evolution of all species. When the sperm and egg unite, this new creation is a single-celled organism. Within hours, this single cell divides and multiplies more rapidly than any other species. 4 weeks later, the embryo begins to develop gills mimicking aquatic life. A few weeks later, it develops lungs and a tail with reptilian appearance. From there, a mammal is recognizable, and then onto a primate form. It then sheds its laguna, which is the embryonic fur, and at last shows the characteristics of a human child. The human body is a community of approximately 50 trillion cells. Everything the body does, the cell does as well. Cells have respiratory and excretory systems. They feed, feel, think, and communicate with other cells. Trillions of cells make up a single organism called the human body, and billions of human bodies help make up the organism we call Earth. More similarities with the human anatomy than you may think.
Boom. That's all I'm going to hit you with. That's what I'm going to hit you. I'm going to leave it alone right there. We're going to stop. We're going to stop. You feel me? What I hit y'all with today is, I'm going to let y'all save that, come back. I'm going to let y'all just digest it, man. Just take the whole video in and just digest it. Pray on that, yo. Because it gets so much deeper. Because I haven't even gone to the astrology part, which I got to bring in. You know what I'm saying? And so, yo, man, I love myself. If anybody been in the room from the beginning, you a real one. I love my self-reflection. Peace, man. Y'all share the video.